Hello?
Hello? Oh!
Sorry, I got confused for a second here, but hello everybody, and welcome to another edition of Boston Blue Beat Online. I'm Toledo here, joined by Just a Tomato.
How is it going, gamers? Grab your snacks, grab your water. It's going to be a big one tonight, actually. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, it should be a pretty chill vibe, I would say, all things considered here. Thanksgiving is coming, but people still want to mash games. This stuff is confusing to me. But yeah, we are starting up our first match with Octo and MacMens coming in here. Now, I keep forgetting off the top of my head who Octo plays. I know MacMens plays Azriel, because I got to see him not too long ago, although not really as much in terms of chatting, at ECT not too long ago.
Oh, nice. How was that?
ECT was chill. Running the bracket and commentating was not as messy as I thought it would be, mostly because of, thanks to the help of a lot of folks that made life much easier. But yeah, we had a decent sized bracket. Grover pulled up last second. It was pretty good all around, I'd say. Things to improve, but overall,
Awesome.
Good time. Oh yeah, okay, so this will be 9 versus Azriel. So most of the Azriels hate this matchup. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, and I think most of the Azriels are right to hate this matchup. Octo, by the way, is sort of, I think, of the up-and-coming 9 players, he is at the tip of the spear, so to speak. He's doing a lot of creative tech with this character that is very strong, that you don't see a lot of other players do, that they just normally chuck rock. Octo, I think we will see some surprises from in this set. Nice teleport dash to kick things off, going to be putting MacMens into the corner.
Alright, this is a solid knockdown right now. Working with some Fairyuki, trying to check for a couple of other options. The Meteor ends up catching the post OD. Things are looking pretty good. There's a nice high-low. Oh, unfortunate drop combo, but we call those happy little resets here. And with this amount of meter, should be able to kill, honestly.
Yeah, Azriel is Omega dead. Doesn't matter if he has 12.5 active flow in the back, just in case. But 5.2 on the resource dump from Octo. Doesn't even need it. We'll kick things off with a perfect.
IDJA is going to end up catching MacMens here. And once again, pretty solid first knockdown. MacMens hasn't really been able to get much started yet. I like the Growler on the Fairyuki. You really want to make sure that you're checking that the 9 player is trying to reinforce their Oki with her buttons rather than trying to maneuver around or potentially set up any form of mix-ups here. But already an early rock ends up leading to a pretty successful knockdown once more. Ends up getting a stagger. This is going to be an OD, but trying to OD on a lot of 9's buttons is not necessarily a fun time. And that was a really, that was a bit of a bold choice to mash there, honestly. Oh gosh, gets the fatal counter.
Oh, missing the punish on the DP.
A little awkward here, but Octo just trying to play around at neutral and find an opportunity to get a hit here. Fairy is stocked, decides to trigger it. Ooh, ends up catching Azriel moving.
Yeah, unfortunately, MacMens took to the air, tried to escape the Fairy, but it was not going to be enough. He is too big. And as far as overdriving 9's normals goes, like you said, Toledo, I think Azriel probably has a tougher time with that than other characters might, because he doesn't really have a solid mid-range button to be able to press when 9 is like a character and a half away from him, a little bit closer than that range. He doesn't really have a button to punish like the 5x and the 2x that other characters can do a lot more easily.
Yeah, there are certain ranges that can be a little more awkward for Azriel, but he still has tools like, you know, whether it's 5C or 6C or at some ranges 2D, that are able to stuff 9 or prevent her from moving in certain respects. A lot of it comes down to like understanding how the 9 player wants to maneuver around with within certain plus or minus frames here. But all that ain't mattering too much right now. It really does feel like Octo is just mixing the absolute crap out of MacMens right here. Should be yet another perfect right now. Oh my goodness.
Yet another perfect is right. Blink and you'll miss it. Octo actually unblockable to MacMens in the middle of that exchange with Navy pressure and Morganite with the Avaravite in the back, holding him down in the block stun department. Almost a conversion off the Amethyst. And finally, MacMens gonna burst.
Yeah, but at this point, it feels like MacMens hasn't really had much of a game plan that he's been able to enact thus far in this set. It feels like most of the time when he's trying to engage, he immediately gets stuffed and then thrown into some Oki. Speaking of which, right there, quick counter hit, but thankfully the Tanzanite doesn't end up connecting into a full confirm. But either way, this is looking very, very rough for MacMens. Not too high in terms of the burst department. Lots of meter to play around with, but no weak points and overhead connects, and that is going to be the game. 2-0, 2 perfects, mind you, in this game for Octo.
And 3 in the set. Unfortunate for MacMens. Absolutely got steamrolled. Like you said, just sort of spent the entire set running into Octo's normals and just getting hit by everything. Not to, like, downplay what Octo's doing. Octo absolutely had that set on lock, but it very much felt like MacMens, couldn't find a foothold to get on in the matchup at all. Octo was just ready with whatever button, the anti-air, the 5B or the 5C to poke on the ground.
Yeah, it felt like he was consistently on the back foot, and I think that as Azriel, while this matchup is definitely doable, 9 Azriel is doable for Az, a lot of it requires a level of patience and understanding for how the 9 wants to position themselves, and it felt like MacMens did not necessarily have a game plan for how Octo would move around and throw out certain buttons, so it very much so was a difficult time for him. We're moving on to a very, very, very different matchup. This will be Lucy, the Hibiki, versus Walbats, the Jubei. I have not gotten the chance to see Walbats yet, so I am curious to see how this will go.
Yeah, Walbats has been kicking a lot of ass lately over in the Training Mode Network brackets. Back-to-back runner-up now. Stardust, on the other hand, very, very long-time TMN veteran. So, selfishly very happy that this match worked out and that we get to see it, and you all at home get to see it. Nice Abari from Stardust gonna get her game plan started with the Hibiki.
OD pops, nothing major hit, nothing huge hitting for both players, but this could be a pretty good opening for Walbats. Doesn't have install. Oh, speaking of which, installs pop. That's gonna be a lot of extra corner damage here. Already nearing on 4K. Sets up some Oki. DP doesn't end up working out. Walbats playing it patiently, trying to test the waters and see how Lucy would respond there. Especially when your opponent has 50 meter and it's towards the end of the game. Sometimes you end up wanting to like double check your opponent's actions right there. And Hibiki is no stranger to a DPRC, into a fast mix-up. J2D ends up connected, or rather J3D, I believe. A couple of scrambles hitting right now, but Lucy ends up getting the first knockdown of this round.
Oh, wow. Straight into the overdrive off of the 4B. This is going to be a grip of extra damage and a lot of corner carry, which is definitely the more important thing. Though scraping past the 4K barrier as Lucy has yet to be touched, and this will be a perfect in retaliation.
Well, you never know with drop combos, but the 2-1-4-8 Panic RC gets it done regardless.
Yeah, locking it up at the end of the day with the break RC is Lucy, and it's one apiece.
Quick jabs, catching Walbats landing right there. Trying to set up some different mix off of the 2 and 4C knockdown. Yeah. I think for Hibiki, you definitely want to make sure that you're showing a couple of different options from there. Oh, Walbats trying to go for the ball low-key. That's not really as good mid-screen. You have to set up like a lot of specific heights if you want to go from specific heights into 236B in order to set up some of those.
That's going to be a counter hit confirmed though, as Walbats tries to escape, gets clipped by the counter hit JC. Safe jump this time from Lucy, taking no chances. Crush trigger hits the mark, and Walbats chooses the burst.
That might have been an OD on reaction that came slightly late. That's one of those times where it's genuinely hard to tell whether it's in response to the crush trigger or they reacted to the CT late and it hit them by the time anything came out. Yeah, nice 100%. Instant overhead, and gets the conversion off of it. That is not easy to do here. Solid damage as well, especially with the install. Oh god, the cross
the dash through.
It's nasty work out here.
Absolutely full of tricks. Another counter hit, but Lucy's not ready this time. But this one she will be ready for. The Zuna drop RC, and this I believe will be enough.
That's probably gonna kill. That's actually gonna kill, and it's a blue beat. That's pain. That is painful.
That was a real combo. I saw the game chug, unfortunately, and Walbats are just not ready to tech out. But
It might have had. I don't know if there's a
capitalize.
little too much dip in the chip. I genuinely can't tell. That being said, never believe in your opponent's combos. I will always say it. Never believe in them ever. Always think that they will drop in some stupid way, because otherwise you could straight up lose rounds in games off of a blue beat route.
Yeah, it happens all the time, no matter how good or consistent of a player you are. These combos are kind of just that hard in this game. Lucy, though, undeterred, kicking off the second game, picking up right where she left off with a very strong start.
Hold on, that conversion was actually mad sick. I'm not gonna lie, I was really surprised that she got the 6C Azuna drop there. That was, sorry, 6C Thrashing Claw there. That was actually kind of absurd. I'm not gonna lie. DP on the OD, my friend. You're doing a little too much. Sometimes you gotta take a little easy. You ain't got a hard read too heavily because now you're eating like 4K and OT off of it.
No. I think that was a solid decision, Lucy, looking for the DP RC 50-50. Walbat still had the hardest of reads with the overdrive.
On the OD? Nah, that's crazy. That's a
opening.
wild decision. You can't tell me that's a solid decision. That's a crazy decision. That's a hard read. You can't tell me that. Nah.
I said it's a hard read. No, that's exactly what I said. It's a hard read. And Walbat's getting another chance to play.
I love that 2B link. It's mad hard to do. Oh no, the DP RC is not gonna work out. Ball is too active. You can't really play around with it like that. Walbats has been demonstrating how willing they are to bait out the DP. It can be really tough making that decision when you're against Jupe because the instant JA comes out so fast. You're genuinely guessing in a lot of those scenarios, but I would say that from observation, Walbats has been choosing to try to look for some baits and like is willing to give up on a few mix-up opportunities as a result. But Lucy not quite willing to change that habit yet, or maybe hasn't picked up on it. Either way, a couple of scrambles later, and Walbats finding another hit here.
Yeah, that's the magic of that ball OP, though, is if you don't DP, you still have to block the mix-up, and we've already seen the instant overhead come out from Walbats. 13 frames is that JA, completely unreactable. 4B, though, from really, actually quite far away, and Lucy gonna get a grip of the... No!
4B is mad big, I'm not gonna lie. 4B sometimes, like, connects, and then you're like, oh, wow, I guess I'm nice for that. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, no! Not like this, Walbats.
A dirty little reset. Another thing, don't trust Hibiki players.
Oh yeah,
look for certain Azuna drop. Whoa!
Nice to see though.
Nice patient start. I really like that. Let's see. I don't think Lucy's gonna pop the OD on this route. Likely just gonna look for a basic knockdown. Delay overhead doesn't end up connecting, but it's good to show. And yeah, I think in that case that was definitely meant to be a burst with the way it happened a little later there. And these two have been very back and forth, but again, Lucy's conversions off some of these counter hit air normals are genuinely nuts. Like, I really have loved seeing it. A little too long on the delay for those.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's genuinely been really cool. I haven't seen Lucy play in a little while, since probably around like Beach episode, but some of these conversions that she's getting are quite impressive. Good counter assault, backing off, and Walbats using really good movement in order to kind of like get around it.
Oh, that's a punish though.
Not quite there for the full conversion. Let's see what Walbats has to offer here. They've been able to get things started really, really well. Tight with the confirms, tight with the mix-ups. There's another opportunity here. Tries to go for the 6C, not going to work out. Oh god, now it's really close.
Maybe looking for a counter hit, but no conversion this time for Walbats. A rare miss. Walbats usually equaling Lucy sort of in the manner of his conversion on these counter hits, but guess
oh my god, you just went for Raw Azuna. No, don't beat the burst. What?
Blink and you'll miss it. And Lucy closing it out 2-0 by the skin of her teeth in that second game.
That was absurd. Okay. All right.
That set was fire, though. That set was fire.
I'm not gonna lie. That was... Oh, yeah. Hold on a second. Okay, Matoe Sakuraba Motion. Okay. Lucy always puts in, like, a bunch of tracks whenever she plays.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check this one out for afterwards, and I will give my thoughts. Let me like it on Spotify, and then I will remember this for later. This is an 8-minute song. God damn. All right.
8 minutes? That's amateur hour, I fear.
8 minutes. 8 minutes, 15 seconds is a lot. Look, this is I don't listen to Sufjan Stevens or nothing, so I'm not getting the like 30-minute diatribe of a song of like 30 different melodies happening over time.
That's fair. That's fair.
That being jokes aside, that was really good. Honestly,
is almost as good as her conversions in that set.
Yeah, and it was really fun seeing how walbats was piloting Jubei, being able to transition into install super, the ways in which they were able to mix, and the ways in which they were trying to kind of like keep up their neutral presence. I think was pretty fun to watch. It's awesome to see a lot of folks from TMN do some pretty interesting work here. Oh
yeah, I think
okay.
that. Yeah, I think like of all the people in TMN, like coming into an open bracket and putting their best foot forward, I think that was one of the best TMN versus TMN sets I've ever seen. Unfortunate that it had to be a team kill, but I'm personally very proud of both of them for the performance that they put on. And I think I don't know, the losers run is going to be a little bit rough in a bracket of this size, but walbats has made top 8 in Boston Blue Beats before, and I have no doubt in my mind that he could do it again. Just needs to buckle down, lock in, and prepare for a slightly longer run than usual, since we've got like 25 entrants, I believe.
Yeah, we have about 25 folks here today, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, 25 entrants. Appreciate y'all coming out, pulling up, throwing down, as always, spending your Monday night right here at Boston Blue Beat. It's the place to be.
Yeah. And coming up next, we have Aerodat and ChemicalJade. Y'all are right. Y'all are good to go whenever, so don't feel that you guys gotta wait on us. So I know Aerodat's been learning, has been working on Tsubaki for some time. I don't know if he's necessarily gonna go that. Oh, okay, he's going Jin. I haven't seen his Jin in ages. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
and
Aura
this is...
actually pulled out. Aura pulled out the Jin actually against me a couple weeks ago, 2 to 3 weeks ago, I think, and has been putting more work into this character, which I personally am happy to see. I like watching Aura play Jin, and I love watching Jin in general. I think that character is freaking awesome. Maybe one of my favorite Shotos in all of fighting games.
It's pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. I remember when I had a brief Jin arc, and then that just kind of randomly ended. Oh, goodness.
Meaty throw gets overdrive through by ChemicalJade. Very strong start.
Yeah, 9OD, you don't usually end up seeing it come up too often, except when she like really needs to squeeze out damage. But I do think it's good to show it a bit early against like certain players to like let them know like, hey, I'm willing to check some of these like more committal options through it.
Yeah, 100%. And let's not forget that overdrive is the best defensive option in the game, but Aura does not care, absolutely dissecting ChemicalJade in a matter of seconds after that overdrive.
Yeah, OD's definitely strong. Oh my goodness, I swear to God, I look at good players and I go and I feel, I'm like, oh God, that was a round start super jump air throw. My goodness, another OD on the throw.
But Jade didn't believe this time, still able to find the counter poke EA. Getting a little bit lucky there is ChemicalJade, I can't lie, I know because I've been there.
These things happen. Sometimes you just kind of stare awkwardly at your opponent and you're like, okay, now's when you press right, and then you click EA and you hit them and you're like, I'm so nice. I'm so good at this game.
Yeah.
It's mad funny.
Doing that with your DP is even better.
Oh God, that's old. Right now, it feels like Jade is having a hard time kind of getting around a lot of Jin offense. I think that in terms of locals, oh goodness, okay. I'm honestly surprised that J2C doesn't have enough hits done on OD cancel to still block. This could be a pretty big opportunity for Jade here, but it's going to be tough. Aura's got a lot of meter to mess with.
That was clean.
Okay, they spent 25 on the
teleport dash. Yeah, teleport dash, dodged the Hirenso, and Morganite came in with the set play. ChemicalJade hanging on by a thread with the walk-up buttons.
I really like the
delay that Aura was going to get grabbed.
Oh, my
you're dead!
Okay.
Hero bursting.
Well, hold on a second. We might see a big thing come up. Alright, Fairy stalked. Jade ends up popping it there, but forced to block kind of immediately, and thus they don't end up doing too much. I won't lie, that is a very, very bold burst from Aerodat there, because if you're Jin and you lose that burst and then you lose the round, the next round scenario is much, much more difficult. OD is such a powerful tool in Jin's kit you can slot that thing at pretty much any stage of the game, and it's always useful. So depriving Jin of that burst, it can be super massive.
Yeah, and if there's something we can learn about that burst, it's how confident Aura is going to be going into this next game. A little bit of a setback, though, as ChemicalJade strikes first, but the run-in and the anti-air 2A. ChemicalJade probably not very happy about that.
One thing that's really important to note is that Nine's, like, IADJAs, every character in the cast, and I mean basically everyone in the cast, can low profile that with a crouching normal. So for most characters, they'll use their 2Bs, and for characters like Jin and Naoto, they can just use their 2As. So you really want to be mindful of how you're using that. It can be very useful in certain instances, but if players are keen and aware of how it works, they'll usually just dash up with the crouching normal and then end up hitting you. Looks like Aerodat was looking for an OD conversion off of the 3C round start, but didn't believe in the hit. I think that's A-okay to not go for it too.
Oh, that's going to be an OD conversion though, but no. You do not want to see a drop like that.
Oh my god. That was a big bait on the DP. I really like the patience there from Aerodat. Nice rising JA in order to clip 9 here. This is not going to be able to kill. I understand why Aura was looking for it, and the delay overhead ends up getting it done with that air dash.
Yeah, Aura opting for the Hirenso knockdown there in that scenario. Interesting usage of meter, but it does in fact work out. Aura cleaning it up with a 2-0.
Yeah, that was some pretty clean stuff. I think we'll probably end up seeing Jade somewhere down the line. It's been pretty fun watching her play more and more BlazBlue, because every now and then in the New England Discord, every now and then she'll be like, guys, I love this fucked up mix. we'll look at it and we'll be like, yeah, yep, this is probably gonna happen on locals later, but we'll see.
Yeah, you know, I think my favorite thing in the world has got to be seeing someone else lab like some random fucked up interaction or like a new like 8k resource dump combo, and I'm like, okay, I don't care until you hit me with it though, and then we play and they hit me with it. It's honestly like it's the best feeling in the world, and it takes all the sting out of losing, knowing that people are still grinding their heart out on this game.
Yeah, for sure. As long as it's not on one of those Twitter clips that's like, don't get hit by this one. It's like, brother, this is a fatal counter with all resources. If I'm not eating 50%, I'd be shocked. But such is the way of things. Okay. Oh, cool. So we have Arklancer versus MastaCJ. So this is Mu 12 versus 9, if I'm remembering players' characters properly.
MastaCJ is on the bang, actually.
Oh, goodness. I'm just wrong. Unfortunate. But this
yeah, Arklancer making Arklancer has not been appearing in brackets very much as of late. I'm excited to see her come back and see what she's bringing to the table on this Mu 12. Very underrepresented, oft misunderstood character, going up against MastaCJ, who has a very I'ma just say this to Weedo, MastaCJ has a very alternative approach to overdrive usage.
Do they like using OD a lot?
No.
Very alternative
not one bit.
Is a crazy way of phrasing things. Do they use it or do they not use it? You gotta speak plainly.
No. Burst.
Okay, so they burst a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, MastaCJ almost exclusively uses burst.
That's most unfortunate, but a thing to note for a bit later right now. However, at least at the moment, MastaCJ getting the first hit's pretty nice. Lots of nails spent too. Oh my goodness, that is 6 nails within like 20 seconds. If this match ends up going, if this round ends up going for very long, MastaCJ's gonna be like, MastaCJ's not gonna have such a major resource, and we're seeing the burst come out here already.
Oh no.
Quick couple of hits into the 5C, a scramble situation resulting here. And with a little bit of bumper mix, CJ ends up getting it done here.
Yeah, happy little resets in spades. MastaCJ with a very aggressive nail usage, trying to put these rounds to bed as fast as he possibly can. But Arklancer getting started once again with the run-up throw. And here you can start to see, just like Toledo's been talking about, how sacrificing your burst, sacrificing your overdrive, and not having it in the next round makes that next round so much more painful. All of this could have been avoided if you hadn't done that.
Couple of Stein set here. Oh, I love that delay 2B. That was so good. That shows a lot of confidence in one's offense there. To be able to, like, have that, to be able to go, you're not going to press, I'm just going to do this heavy delay, and it's going to be a brain destroyer today. That's super, super dope stuff. And the 236D, your hit is my hit kind of special ends up working in favor for her as well.
That was like a Luigi neutral air kind of trade combo. I do the move.
That's real.
Your combo is now my combo.
That's super real. Dude, when the Rivals 2 beta came out and I was on Rana, I was mashing that neutral air. Like it was nothing.
Naturally.
Buttons
Once again, though, look at that nail usage that you brought up. MastaCJ already out so many nails, but Arklancer has no overdrive.
Yeah, this could very well end up being rough. I'm curious to see, does she DP here? No, she's going to Ikutashi to get out. But now that's a no-nail Bang, and a lot of the B&Bs, a lot of the potential conversions that Bang would want to go for is now nil. Meter spent on the CA as well. That's going to be a quick DP, a quick Stein set as well. It's not going to do too much here. But CJ finding a couple of hits in neutral, and again, it's no-nail Bang. It is very, very
no,
tough
you
to
took
maneuver.
that was like 4K, unironically, off of that random ass 5C. That was 4K.
Yeah.
Able to find the hit though is MastaCJ on the, I don't remember what that move name is. I'm looking
JB
it up
on the
quick.
JB right there you're talking about, or the
No, the move that Arklancer did.
that's the 236D. I never remember the name of it, but the laser special, yeah.
I'm trying to learn it. Is it?
I'm not gonna lie to you, big dog. I don't know some of these like special names. I just go for the notation. I just know 214D explodes, 236D pisses me off, and I go and I keep it moving. Don't worry about it too heavily. The only reason why I even remember Ikutachi is because it annoys me in a particular way. See, there it is. Oh my goodness, that actually didn't connect. Rather surprising. That's a really, really early burst for Arklancer, and while I understand the usage of them, you know, you as Move 12, your set play, your neutral control is super dominant. It does end up not working super well in favor for her, like pretty much because CJ just opts to play hyper aggressively. So by the time CJ is already like waking up from attack, they've like sprinted immediately to Arklancer's location. That being said, this is a pretty good start to some offense to close out the round potentially, but Arklancer's just got to find the next hit. CA ends up coming out. Immediate DP.
Oh,
no,
that sucks. That sucks.
We are not a part of the blocking
DP.
society. We are hitting buttons and using other defensive options to hit people. This is what's happening.
I mean, you can't understate the strength of DPRC. MastaCJ unfortunately not ready for it. And Arklancer finding a meaty throw once again up around. This is a huge swing of momentum, but the overdrive is starting to come back now.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of the things where not presenting a wake-up overdrive, it's actually really funny that we got this set right after the one with Jade. You know, we saw in Jade's set how awesome wake-up OD was, especially on throws and being able to, like, land a solid counter-hit starter. But because CJ hasn't opted to pop OD on wake-up whatsoever as Bang, which is truly depriving you of a major, major tool in the character's kit, Arklancer feels free to just opt for, like, meaty throw scenarios when normally that like carries a bit more risk. And it's clear that CJ's not willing to necessarily jump on wake up, or maybe isn't as willing to throw OS in certain scenarios. So that leads to a lot of Arklancer's conversions, especially in the corner off of like certain knockdowns.
Yeah, in fairness, he did fuzzy jump that very last knockdown, but the laser was there to jail him back down to the ground, and the 2B closed it out. It's going to be final game in this set now.
CJ already getting an early hit, and again, CJ with momentum has proven to be very, very wonderful so far. I think that was maybe a big misinput on the jump 63B, and that's already a ton of nails off the table. EA's not going to do a ton of damage, but being able to reset to neutral against Bang with this little nails is fantastic, quite frankly speaking. And you can see,
and like, I don't like the fact that it anti-aired the taco kick there either.
It's something. it's something.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. All right, this is
Yeah,
not
he's
too many
definitely-
nails. I like the CT in order to gain a little bit more. Oh, nice 60 from B. And with
RC,
meter,
and
yeah,
you were
this
gonna
should be
die.
able to kill. Will he click OD? I don't know. But yeah, that would have been, if CJ popped OD in the EA, probably would have guaranteed the kill, but they managed to find it anyway in some resultant scrambles here. One of
Yeah,
the
and this
issues...
is something you see play.
No, feel free. Go on,
Something
go on.
you'll see players who even like to use overdrive some of the time is they'll opt not to use overdrive to try and kill, get greedy, try and kill without it, and carry it to the next round. Which I think is a really interesting decision, although it's not one I personally endorse. But maybe that's just because how I play and how Cogger uses overdrive. But Bang, like you said, uses overdrive very differently, and it outputs so much damage. But it's not going to matter in this scenario.
Oh, big J2C! Alright, this is probably going to be game. There's the 236D nail. So one thing that came up a lot, and we didn't end up having the time to go over it, you know, the set was super fast. One problem that Arklancer was running through in many scenarios was that off of a lot of knockdowns, they would just immediately try to Ikutachi. Any scramble, Ikutachi. Most knockdowns, Ikutachi immediately afterwards. And for those that don't know, it's the move where she leaps forward and then swipes with the blade behind her. And
Behind her, doesn't it hit in front of her too?
the hitbox is annoying. I'm gonna just put it that way. It's mostly behind her, but it can sometimes clip you in front. It's a thing. But the consistent Ikutachis ended up getting called out like pretty frequently by CJ, or they weren't really netting Arklancer a great defensive reward in terms of escaping to neutral. It felt like there was either like a lot of nerves or maybe frustration that was causing them to do that consistently, as opposed to, you know, occasionally showing a willingness to, you know, sit back, barrier a couple of times, and then maybe super jump forward to get out of there. Just a lot of risky defensive decision making that didn't end up going super well in her favor. But again, that's good stuff for CJ getting that win here. Our next set that we have scheduled to come up is going to be a pretty interesting one. This will be Icecool versus Joshua.
Yeah, a little bit of a big dog underdog matchup. Icecool needs no introduction. One of the best players in the West. Joshua, the preeminent representative of Makoto Nanaya, has a tall order in front of him.
Please select your character.
Yeah, I would say this is not looking like it's going to be an easy path forward. Love Joshua, great dude. Literally every time I chat with him, I'm like, you're an amazing guy. But this is tough, quite frankly speaking here. But I don't know if he's got anything new under the table or something coming up here. But we will see how it goes.
That we will. How does Makoto do in the Susanoo? I imagine it's not super fun for Makoto, but I'm curious what your perspective is.
I don't see this matchup come up too often, but Makoto's natural movement speed is really great for maneuvering around a lot of places where Susanoo may want to be at. I would say her pressure game is still pretty solid. It really is to me. Oh, I don't know if that was meant to be an OD or a burst there. Really, to me, it's kind of all in how some of the neutral plays out. You know, naturally her more aggressive defensive options are not ideal, with DP being low profilable, and then her is it Astral forward B? I always forget which move it is. Being like a weird guessing game for her personally. And in terms of damage, like it's Makoto's average B&B maybe a little less than Susan. Again, I think this is one of those matchups where it kind of is like all of the neutral. You know, Makoto's offense I think is fine. And I think her defense is okay. It's just a matter of like, how she maneuvers around the mid-range. And right now, Icecool's kind of been speedrunning into Susanoo offense pretty immediately.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt you, but Icecool actually hit Joshua with the fuzzy, the F-Shiki there. I'm trying not to call it a fuzzy to avoid misinformation. Base the burst, turns it into an overdrive, but it does not matter. Closing it out with a perfect is Icecool.
I'm going to tell you right now 2 things. 1, interrupt me. That's A-okay. I will tell you that right now. 2, don't worry about fuzzy versus F-Shiki. I think everybody's going to get confused by that half the time. I just call them fuzzies at this point, to be quite frank with you. But Not to say that
It's
you
very
can't.
funny that even their name is mixed. Even their name is mixed.
Look, people that say F Shiki, I always imagine someone adjusting their glasses. I'll put it that way. It's not super nerd of it.
No.
I'm just kind of like, oh.
I'm gonna put them on and adjust them every time I say it, just for you.
Dude. Do what you gotta do, man.
Don't
Big
you
plus
worry
for him.
about a damn thing.
That's alright. Nice asteroid vision mix coming in here. A little too much dip on the chip with the charged CT right there. Icecool ending up mashing out. Oh, why are we don't gotta
Very
make the burst so
understandable burst
heavy.
bait.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So Makoto's
Yeah,
one of those
very
characters where like her OD lets her
Oh
cash
my-
out on damage like crazy in certain scenarios. And given the way that
Yeah,
the neutral
especially
is,
air conversions with the DP ground bounce in overdrive. That's
Yeah.
the big one in my head.
so it's one of those cases where like depriving Makoto of her overdrive and taking the burst is fine because you can see like there is a lot of confidence that Icecool has in the neutral game. So being forced to play neutral is not a big issue, and depriving Joshua of the ability to cash out on massive damage is really good.
Yeah.
It's one of
And
those
also,
like.
Oh, I was gonna say also, guard cancel overdrive and overdrive on reaction to Susanoo pressure is also very good, particularly in this matchup because Susanoo has so many slow, laggy moves. And not having that resource on the table either gives Icecool so much more, so much longer of a leash, so to speak, to run his offense. Holy crap.
This is not going to kill, but this is going to lead to a next hit kills kind of scenario for Icecool here. Trying to look for some mix-up.
That-
Ooh!
oh!
Double J!
Oh!
That was pretty dirty. I was
Oh,
not
I got
expecting
hit.
that.
I got hit. That is... Huh.
I'll be
That
honest.
is a new one.
I got hit by the initial JA. I wasn't going to block that. I was probably not going to block that.
I mean, it probably safe jumped my CFAF, so I will remain silent. But anyway, Icecool showing that this old dog still has new tricks.
He's
I
not
bet
even
you
an old
came up with that
dog.
one,
What?
though.
Icecool's not old. He's not old.
He's not old per se, but he's
He's
been
not
playing the game for
old.
him.
No,
He's
nah.
No, he's not old. He's like... No, he's like... Hasn't he been playing for like 8 years? Not 8 years.
8 years?
6 years.
I don't know how long he's been playing. He's not like
Didn't
old
he
head
like
status.
win a bracket in 2019?
I don't know. Look, I don't know these dates. He ain't old. He ain't old. The next one of the next players we have coming up, he's been around the block for a while. We got Ryukasin versus Moblin. Ryukasin been around for a grit. I'm not gonna lie. That man has been playing since 2016. Damn. I ain't seen you since until 2020. That's crazy.
That's a damn long time to be playing the same game.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it's probably around the time for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna call you. You don't have the title of Unk, but I will say that you've been around the trenches. That being said, yeah, we have Ryukasin versus Moblin. Why do I feel like I get Moblin's character mixed all of the time?
Hawkman.
Okay, I am right, thank God, but I didn't get the chance to say it. You deprived me of this. But yeah, this will be.
See,
I have no
I
idea
gave you the opportunity to OS. I gave you the opportunity to OS.
Yeah, I should have taken it. My fault. That's on me.
Yeah.
That's on me.
Don't you worry about it. But yeah, we might see a Hawkman mirror. Maybe Ryukasin is feeling a little frisky, and we'll pull out the
I feel like Ryukasin. I genuinely forget if Ryukasin likes, tolerates, loves, or absolutely hates the Hawkman mirror. It would not shock me if he just went on another character to like mess around and enjoy himself.
Yeah, the Hawkman mirror is kind of just one of those matchups. As a Kagura player, well.
Oh, we locked in on it. All right.
Yeah.
Bet.
Fair enough. We are gonna have the mirror match with two Hawkmans.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I
as a
haven't
Kagura
seen.
player, I definitely understand not liking the mirror. I'm the one Kagura player that likes the mirror and enjoys playing the mirror. Everyone else thinks I need to be put into an asylum for it. And the Hawkman mirror, it looks about as bad as the Kagura mirror does, feels to me to play.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I would say mirrors in a lot of games look goofy. The Hawkman mirror is like. I don't know how to necessarily describe it, especially when we have Ryuga-sim around, who's definitely willing to risk a lot more in certain scenarios. So there can be a lot of goofy things happening, especially with a couple of JDs already early on. But both players, at least at the outset in neutral, not really trying to push the pace. This is one of those weird cases where, both players are A-okay with sitting in neutral for a little bit, getting meter, and trying to aggress against the other can be a little awkward. You see Ryuga-sim opting for a lot of JDs with somewhat risky maneuvers that are working out pretty well. But speaking of which, there's another JD. I feel like he's trying to prove a point almost.
Yeah, you kind of... Ryuga-sim always plays like he has something to prove to people. And in fairness, he kind of... No, I'm gonna commit. In fairness, he does have something to prove in a lot of ways. I'm not gonna pretend that, there are a couple people that are not fond of playing Ryuga-sim because of how gimmicky and aggressive he can sometimes be. But he is a very strong player at the end of the day, and it's gonna be on no one else but Moblin to try and deal with it.
Yeah. Right now, though, a lot of JDs here, and it feels like neither player is really able to kind of land a solid hit. A lot of the movement thus far has been somewhat extraneous. Whoa, that was a weird reverse hit 5C.
Yeah, I would have got up out my chair if he converted that into something, but not really a way for Hakumen to do it. Ryuga-sim, though, not really worried about that, locking up the first game very quickly.
And yeah, right now, things are looking pretty good for Ryuga-sim thus far. Again, I really do feel like the neutral between the two thus far has been, pretty difficult for either to jockey for a specific position, and I think a lot of the JDs that Ryuga-sim has been opting for is messing with Moblin in a sense. You see him very willing to jump around and, pop it, and, we haven't really seen Moblin either just kind of wait out. Oh, speaking of which, waiting out for a counter right there and punishing.
Yeah, great punish on the 2D coming out from Moblin. And let's not forget also that Hakumen's conversions can sometimes be awkward, especially if he doesn't have a ton of Magatama, and he moves like he's running a three-legged race.
I would say that is not inaccurate for a lot of the times. Oh, I really like the adjustment on the reverse hits right there from Ryuga-sim. Both players in active flow, but Ryuga-sim's the only one holding the overdrive in the back pocket, so to speak. Should be able to pop it here in order to kill, but maybe not willing, or feels that the 5C OD cancel wouldn't work out there routing-wise. Not too sure, but either way, both players trying to jockey for position here. Really low health. Moblin with a lot of meter to work with.
Whiffing the air throw.
Oh
no. Ryuga-sim hit the counter first, recovered first, got the punish, closing it out once again with the 6B. Moblin, by the way, for the second time this set now, dying with a full stick of butter. Very much not what you want to see. He also burst, which is...
It's pretty unfortunate.
That's really, really bad, actually. That's
well, we can
bad.
let's get into it a little bit to talk about why it won't be as good, right? One of the big tools that Hakumen has available that most people playing CF may probably already know is that his overdrive is ridiculous. It is the oh my god, that is such a strange interaction on J2 and 4A. That was weird. I have not seen Agito interact with counter like that. That was weird. That was genuinely just
That is weird. Yeah, Agito being a projectile
causes some strange things to happen, yeah.
Yeah, very much. But yeah, Hakumen OD, it is the I hate you, I'm pressing all 4 buttons, and you're gonna eat your entire health bar's worth of damage because I said so.
It's definitely Hakumen walking up to some place and saying you want to see a dead body. And so depriving yourself of that overdrive is super big, to the degree where when I play Hakumens and I look at them burst, I'm like, whew, I feel like I just ran I feel fantastic. It's like I took a whole
100%,
espresso or something.
100%.
Oh my god, that was a wild decision. He did dash 214A. He did dash Agito since he's airborne for it. Then on block he did JD. You are a man most unkind. That was a very insane decision to make. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, I think if you're Moblin in that situation, you just shake your head and you put the controller down. And you just go, well, he was right. I did, in fact, press buttons.
Yeah, it's how the cookie crumbles sometimes.
That sucks. But yeah, Ryuka Sim locking it up with the... Was that 2-0? That was 2-0, right?
Yeah, that was 2-0.
I'm so good at math. Yeah, that was 2-0. I'm so good at math. This is why I play Kagura. Not
So,
for
yeah.
lack of trying on Moblin's part, though. But, really interesting how, a player like Ryuka Sim with such an eccentric play style, and I don't mean that, I don't mean that condescendingly. I think he has, a very alternative approach to this character, and it can give the mirror a kind of dynamic that you don't always see from the mirror. So that was actually pretty interesting.
Yeah. So moving on next, we have Beauregard and Icecool coming up. I forget if Beauregard prefers going New or Jin in this particular matchup against Icecool. I will say, both matchups are amusing for very different reasons.
I mean, no.
Mhm.
Honestly, if Ara picks Jin, I'm gonna slap him through the screen. I don't know how you don't pick Mew in this scenario. Straight up. I don't think this is a competitive decision at all.
I would say, oh, that's a very bold statement. Jin is A-okay in this matchup. You're bugging. I'll tell you right now.
No,
Jin is...
I agree. Like, Jin performs very well into Susanoo, but Ara's Jin does not perform at the level that Ara's Mew performs into this matchup. I think this is... Yeah, I don't think it's so much a question of character as it is how much more comfortable Ara is going to be playing his main versus the Jin, which he's only really brought back a month ago.
Yeah,
And I think
feel
the
that.
answer is clear to me.
We'll see what he does. You know, players pick what they pick. Also, you guys, ready up before you guys keep yapping in the Twitch chat. We got a bracket to run through. Come on, don't take time debating all these matchups. Play the damn game.
Please select your character.
But yeah, I am not of the belief that I would say that New 13 beating Susanoo badly. You can't. I can't accept that answer, and maybe that's a debate for a different time. But to kind of talk maybe a little less opinionated manner, this is a matchup that can be very, very annoying for Susanoo. There is no mistaking that. New 13 is a pain to deal with, just given the fact that she is truly able to just shut down a lot of movement options from Susanoo.
The wheel of fate is turning.
But
Yeah,
the
you
fact
have,
of the
like, the
matter
problem-
remains that, like, Susanoo getting in is an inevitability, and having to deal with, like, everything that results from it is very, very difficult. And, you know, he has certain tools like 6A, which you saw just there, which are still very, very useful for him to put out a quick projectile on the screen for New 13 to deal with. And right now, again,
Yeah,
we're
the
seeing
other
it
thing
work
that I
out.
think makes this matchup difficult for Susanoo is that he's just so damn big. It's so hard for him to dodge the swords, and they come out pretty fast, all things considered, on the side of Mew, and being full screen and just getting smacked constantly, and then running in and getting hit by 6B standing sucks. But like
Oh,
you
for
said, it's an inevitability.
Yeah, it's one of those like kind of compounding issues where you're dealing with lack of necessarily fast dash acceleration. Your IAD angle gets sniped out really easily by 6D, and so you're trying to make these like difficult guesses to get in. But like when you do manage to start running your offense, it can be very, very disastrous for
Oh.
U13 to deal with here. We're already seeing a quick early 6A counter into RC. And you can see how Icecool's
I
trying
love
to
that
be,
run under.
It is really good. You can see how Icecool's trying to be
Yeah.
very mindful about the ways in which Beauregard's like defensive options can work out, right? He's not trying to deal with he's not trying to deal with an immediate reversal super. He's also really not trying to deal with like an immediate counter assault or something like that. So he's trying to bait out a couple of options there. At least that's what I believe the dash of JC was for. But I would say Beauregard has generally been very, very good at knowing places to dash under. Like, I think that he is pretty stellar at realizing when an opponent is going to overcommit to certain aerial movements and then just kind of opt to dash under and then just like run away. I think he's pretty good at that, all things considered. And right now, this has been pretty
that he is.
difficult.
It's a very necessary skill from you. And she has the run speed to make very good use of it too. Not to mention that it's just so central to her gameplay, is being at full screen. Because if you're not at full screen against Susanoo, I mean, this is what happens. Like you said, it's an inevitability, and now you have to...
Yeah, you see the burst coming out from Ora here.
And
now,
then,
the OD is available for Icecool. I'm not gonna lie, a quick 6A RC OD cancel on counter hit would be pretty prime right now. But we'll see if that ends up coming out here.
Yeah, we've already seen Icecool hit 1-6A RC, get a very good conversion off of it, and push Aura into the corner, but not able to find the opportunity just yet. Spends the meter, but still gets the hit.
Yeah, that's the big thing, right? Even on block, being able to, and that's a really good
Oh!
right there, actually. That was super good recognition. He saw the startup of the 2-6D since it's very distinctive for New 13, and immediately hit the OD on that in order to punish with EA. That's a really good recognition of New 13's animations there. And you can see the ways in which like Aerodat is very like comfortable with saving a lot of meter. He wants to keep those resources packed nicely for like the rainy day when Susanoo eventually comes. So he wants to be able to say like, okay, well now you kind of have to guess between like, am I going to CA here? And if I CA and it does connect, not so much as if it lands, if it connects, I'm going to RC and I'm going to either start my turn or I'm going to get it knocked out.
Oh, that was clean.
Yeah, that was really good.
Icecool going for a run under of his own, getting clipped by the backside of the UJC. Like, Aura is playing this really well, but so is Icecool. And like, just from the round counter, it feels like Aura is just having to make so many more decisions.
Yeah, the number of
Whereas
decisions in
Icecool
which
just-
like Aerodat has to make in terms of individual like zoning is
Oh, you
rather
died.
difficult. Oh, that's a big sword super that whiffed. I've actually never seen a whiff like that. That was actually wild, I'm not gonna lie. I like the 5As right there, trying to probe and then check for like a reversal
Nice
option.
block, but no punish.
Ooh, that's rough. Legacy
Icecool.
Edge might be able to get it done, honestly.
Yeah, you're dead. And is that game one?
That is game one.
No.
We're in it for the long haul.
Is that game one?
How's game one?
Okay, yeah, that is game one. That was a
game
long
one.
ass game.
It's a long game.
crazy.
We're talking about a zoner against a 12.5 a zoner with low damage against a 12.5k health character. Either this takes a while or Susanoo hits a 6B and we speed run through a round.
Rebel 1.
Kind
Fair
of
enough, fair enough, yeah. Nice overdrive. Unfortunately, they're not in time for the punish, and Icecool will be in time for the punish. Goes for the God Press reset for a reason I'm
honestly surprised
Actually,
because
can't
that
really
was a
fathom.
crouching and confirm, and that would have led to pretty great damage. Now, that being said,
Yeah,
New
and
13
unlocks
with
too.
her very little health, this isn't really too big of a deal. The, oh my goodness, and Aerodat already at 70%. They're not gonna, oh, they are indeed, actually. Early active flow for 75 seconds? Jesus Christ. Weird with the timing here. See what I mean? Susanoo lands 2 hits, and suddenly you're thinking, like, a minute has passed. I like the barrier usage
Yeah,
from
I
Aerodat.
buffering sword from full screen. You get clipped by the jump in, though. blocking
Ooh,
U13,
trying to
which
figure
is
out
not
Icecool. That
always
was
very
definitely
fun,
meant
and
to
you
be a
died.
sword super. That was sword super and a half. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, there it is. It whips again.
Oh no!
Oh my
Aura's not
god,
been
you
able
didn't
to
need to
capitalize
burst
on the
that
punishes
aura.
from-
There's no conversion off of that. You ain't gonna convert off that. Whoa! That CA's got like
this-
no horizontal range. That is most
This character
unfortunate.
sucks. This
That
character
was hilarious.
sucks.
That was mad funny. Oh my god.
Nah,
Quick
that was
early
hard to
overdrive
watch.
route here. Let's see. I would assume that Icecool is probably going to route for sword just to have that anti-projectile like tooling available. And now that that's online,
Yeah,
that's
100%.
really
Great
good
block
for
on the
Icecool.
fuzzy from Aura.
There's the 5D, but not
Crush
quite ready
trigger,
for the
though.
crush trigger here. 25 meter to go as well, and Aerodad's burst is at about 60%. Should be able to get enough meter for a potential
Yeah.
versus Super CA. Immediately opts for it here. A very, very sneaky 3C, mind you. That, like, that 214, G214D whiff was very, very dicey.
Oh!
Yeah, he was
A little bit
looking,
of a
he was either looking
coming out
really,
from
really
Ara, that
heavily
was
for
scary.
Icecool jumping or something there. But right now, with a health lead like this, Icecool doesn't really need to do anything. Like, the beauty and one of the messed up things about this matchup is that Susanoo having an early life lead means that New 13 is forced to, like, generate an approach simply because her drive normals don't chip. And because those normals don't chip, New 13 kind of doesn't, like, has a very difficult time getting things started when she's forced to, like, play as the beatdown.
Yeah.
But Icecool
That's
still playing it
like
pretty
so
active.
horrible.
That was pretty
That
wild. I'm not
really
gonna lie.
sucks. Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those cases where, like, if you have a significant life lead against New 13, I promise you, you can just sit there and watch this sword woman attempt to hit you for like 20 minutes, and it'll be a blast if you win that
no,
way.
for sure.
I can't
Yeah.
lie to you.
Yeah, the caveat is you have to be able to block 4D, but it's 27 frames, has a unique animation. You can very much time Mew out from full screen. It feels so wrong to do, but it also feels
Wrong.
so right.
Oh my god, I love timing out neutral dominant characters. That's my favorite thing. You gotta be kidding me. I love when I play a character that has bad neutral, and I look at a character with better neutral, and I'm like, I'm timing you out, actually. It feels amazing.
No, 100%.
It fills me with,
Yeah.
fills me with, I'll go even further, it fills me with sick joy to do so. It's hilarious. That's a big damage combo
like-
for New 13, honestly. 3.8 is not good stuff.
Yeah, Ara has some really optimal conversions, especially with Crush Trigger. If we see Ara get a 6B and he has meter, that's 5k.
Yeah, it's pretty good damage.
Oh, the reset off the Charge Crescent Icecool, asleep at the wheel. I'm gonna drop around Ara going on set point.
This is looking real good for him. We'll see how it continues on though. Both players having access to OD is pretty fantastic. A quick backdash
Nice
ends up getting
backdash.
Gordo to full
Stealing
screen.
the corner.
This is pretty good for New 13. Being able to, again, like setting up Gravity Well against Susanoo is so much of the battle. When you're dealing with characters that have like poor horizontal movement options, shutting that down even further with Gravity Seed is amazing. You know, characters with slow movement, your Tigers, your bullets. When you put that Gravity Well out there and you watch them move a centimeter a minute, it's amazing. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, it really, really unlocks the kinds of options that you can present in her zoning when the other character just kind of has to stand there and can't do a damn thing. Nice blocks, though, coming out from Ara. Patient defense creeping towards 50 meter, finding the counter assault.
And if I'm Icecool, I'm paying
Again,
attention
though.
to Beauregard's resources. You can see in many instances in this set, the moment Beauregard has 50 meter, he immediately goes for a counter assault. And to me, that tells me that if I'm looking at the meter, the resources in the scenario, I can opt for a quick little 2A check to see what happens here. And again, a quick CA, like as soon as they have the meter available, they do not want to have to deal with Susanoo offense. And when you're running into players like this, you can exploit this habit very heavily.
Yeah, that round, though, it felt like Ara was just on the back foot the whole time. Couldn't really get anything started and just kind of bled his entire life bar over the course of a very long, like, 70-second round. Overdrive 2-5C, that's an EA on the side of Icecool.
And Beauregard
And with
willing
how
to
round
mash
this-
in this
how long
scenario
this-
as well with the quick rise 2A. And ooh, sword ended up eating the 6A. That's rough.
Yeah, that drop sucks so bad.
I am shocked by that 5B mash. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is not looking super ideal for Icecool here. There should be a Gravity Well into some further offense right now.
No
And,
seals,
yeah.
no nothing. And that is going to be enough. This is burst safe.
Not quite. Oh wow, he didn't end up even finishing the combo. I'm surprised. But now
Yeah, wanting to
Icecool
save
has
the meter,
a
I
difficult
guess.
task ahead of him here.
Yeah, no seals. It's so hard. Instant blocking the legacy edge. Trying to get some meter. Any advantage you can take, you will take. But having 6A RC on deck, there is a snowball's chance in hell, but it will not be meant to be. Ara closing it out 2-1.
Pretty good work from him. I'm not gonna lie. That was some pretty. That was good stuff. And yeah,
That's
this
my
matchup again, it can be quite frustrating to deal with. I think one thing that ended up being a very difficult issue for Icecool, especially in Game 3, was trying to find opportunities to either mash or get a hit in to interrupt New 13's offense was very difficult for him. You saw a couple of instances in that last round there where he attempted to dash up in either 5C or try to 5B in certain instances to interrupt New 13. And we saw how that ended up not working out super well in his favor and, ended up widening the gap between the two players. So it's not very easy to deal with those scenarios. New 13 to me is one of those characters where you pick up a new character and they can be as good as you want, but if you don't understand the matchup, you just kind of like lose. And I don't say this to like imply that Icecool doesn't know the matchup. Really just stating that like New 13 sometimes can just provide like very strange scenarios in certain instances here.
Yeah, very unconventional character. But
anyway, we're looking for something completely different now. It's Ryugusin versus Dawn.
Yeah, completely different. This is always an interesting matchup for me to watch. Dawn consistently has had Ryugusin's number time and time again. I believe undefeated against Ryugusin in bracket. But Ryugusin coming out from the gate swinging, looking to try and change the story.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This is looking pretty. It's looking like a whole Whoa! Okay.
Throws plus on whip.
I think that was. So I know Ryugusin like categorically does not throw option select. Like he just doesn't do it.
That is correct.
He's always been a raw throw techer. I don't know if that was either him reading a throw and opting for a throw tech or him just boldly trying to throw himself. Like I genuinely cannot tell. That is an absurd JD to do in that scenario after 2 and 4C. That is crazy. Cannot lie. Now Dawn, honestly, this is kind of surprising. Dawn with not really much doll meter to work with, and then Ryugusin finding an opportunity to get a quick hit in here. Should be a decent route for Dawn. Ends up summoning Ignis as well. Back to the corner with you, and this should be pretty great. A couple of knockdowns, and that should be a dead Hakumen.
Yeah, and you can talk with that kind of authority about Relius' offense as well, because not only is it like very difficult to block, it's also very difficult to contest. Obviously, Hakumen with the ace in the hole, that is Yukikaze, we may see it represented here, but he will just get unblockable instead, choosing not to represent it, and will die for it.
I haven't seen that one in ages, I'm not gonna lie. I'm shocked that Relius players don't do that as much these days. I used to get hit with that with a couple of folks ages ago.
Yeah, and don't forget Relius can opt not to 2B there to bait your reversal.
Yeah. Relius is an interesting case. I wouldn't say that he's hard to block, actually. It's more so that Relius' offense is designed to be incredibly safe. And if you don't understand how Aurelius is trying to run their offense, it feels impossible to, like, challenge them.
Oh.
What is
I
don't know
Venom, bro.
Going on there. Reversal super into 2D. I'm going to assume that maybe wasn't intentional and the 2D was like to cover it, because I've never seen Dawn attempt to do anything like that before, and I would be a little surprised if it was intentional there as a bait, because the 2D as a starter is not
it was just...
Oh, don't burst bait Hakumen. Take Hakumen's burst, because if you are wrong, look at the damage you are taking. I know it's a Ryugusin reset, but that is like 6k on the table now.
Yeah,
this is
like
why
suddenly this has become extremely winnable for Ryugusin.
Okay. I'm going to clip this.
What have we learned, chat?
We're not going to. You do not bait Hakumen's burst. Take Hakumen's burst, man. Just take the burst. Take the burst. Do you know how amazing it is to not deal with somebody with like a gun in the back pocket? Like, imagine going up to someone and being like, I'm gonna fight you, and then they just pull out a gun like Indiana Jones style. Imagine if you could make them throw that gun away. That's what it's like when you force Hakumen to burst. Imagine saying, no, I think I'm going to hit him with the cleanest liver shot ever, and he's not gonna shoot me. And then you miss the liver, and then he shoots you in the face. Because that's what just happened.
I mean,
you want to shoot?
Like, Don was at...
Tomato, I'm gonna interrupt you here.
Huh?
Would you choose to
Okay.
get shot in the face potentially, or would you rather just watch a dude throw the gun away and run the hands? What would you do?
Nah, I'd hit the liver shot and still die.
That's damn. Some people cannot be saved. It is what it is. But that being said, Doc,
Look, I know my limits. I know my limits.
look, you're gonna do what you gotta do, and
Oh, no.
and if you need support, then I think I'll support you. I don't know, dog. This
I'll
is
let
looking.
you know where to send the flowers, but in the meantime,
Oh my goodness.
Don's starting to rebound from that very unfortunate, shall we say, game 1 loss.
Yes, he seems to be moving on with renewed vigor until
Oh,
the
nice
JDs,
JD.
they do keep on coming. Overdrive coming out here. This
That
is gonna.
JD.
Whoa! I have
Side
never seen
swap.
hit a reverse 236B. That was actually sick as hell. I'm not gonna lie. That was really cool. I'm not gonna lie. I see the.
Yeah, it
visual.
would have
I
been
messed
cooler
with
if he finished the combo, but still, in a very even position, having used that overdrive with the active flow in the back, now taking the life lead against Don, who has full resources and is up around, but I think is going to go ahead and...
Oh my god, this
Okay.
man is not
It'd
afraid
be
of
like that.
JD. At this point, I feel like for half of Ryukasim's approaches, I would just kind of like either air throw or I would just play it patiently. Because JD has a lot of forced landing recovery queue to deal with it. And you can see a lot of ways in which Ryukasim is rolling the dice and opting for a couple of counters here. So I really do think that if I'm Dawn, I'm going to like pump the brakes every now and then to look for it. You know, Relius on counter hit, on a lot of counter hits isn't, you know, going to nuke you necessarily, but it's still solid damage and leading into very, very risk-averse offense. And again, we're seeing like
Yeah,
so
not
many
only
counters.
is it very... Exactly. Yeah, now you see... just like you said, the offense coming out and taking Ryukasim's burst this time is Dawn. He rolled into the Valtus, was definitely going to die from it, actually, because Valtus is a hell of a starter. And that is going to do it. Dawn going to make it 1-1.
Well, let's
The
see
other
if he
thing,
gets
though,
the rest of the route should be it. It's quick.
Yeah, he got it.
Oh, we're going Astral straight up. Do what you got to do. Whatever's easier.
Yeah.
But yeah. So again,
Dawn very much not going to let that happen again.
I'm gonna be annoying about this because I see this happen so many times, and I'm like watching people almost choose to lose when you're up against characters with extremely belligerent, powerful comeback overdrives. Just take the damn burst, especially if you're confident in your neutral play, because I swear to you, dealing with the character without one of their biggest comeback mechanics where so much of their power budget lies in is a breath of fresh air. When I watch Terumi burst, when I watch Bullet burst, when I watch Hakumen burst, when I watch Jin burst, I'm like, roll out the red carpet. It's gonna be a fun time here. I swear to you.
Yeah, 100%, especially because now you can run your offense without having to worry about overdrive on the defensive side, without having to worry about any reversal of momentum. And now Dawn showing why this overdrive is such an important tool actually for Relius. Regenerates the entire life meter.
Yeah, so one of the big ways in which Dawn likes to play, Dawn is the type of Relius player that wants to bully in the early game. He will opt to kind of like take out a loan almost in terms of using Ignis very heavily early in rounds because he feels confident in either getting the hit, and if he doesn't necessarily get the hit he wants, he's comfortable with spending that overdrive in order to recover the gauge back. So you'll see it in a lot of instances of cases like this. Again, that kind of bullying style, quickly draining so much of the Ignis gauge immediately afterwards. Had Ryukasin been able to start his offense afterwards, it would have been very, very potent because the Ignis gauge is so low. And one important aspect of dealing with Relius's offense, one thing that makes it difficult to deal with you if you're not cognizant of it, is watching the Ignis gauge. Because that is the like marker for when an opponent is usually going to leave a gap in their offense. You see the air throw coming in now, finally beating out the likely JD in that scenario that was so successful for Ryukasin in game 1 right now. Quick 6D usage, and this overdrive is not honestly the worst to eat. This is probably going to be a quick 4K, but as far as Hakumen damage goes, it could be so much worse. Sorry, that's about 4.7.
Yeah.
My bad.
Very, very much could have been worse. Very much still a winnable situation for Dawn, but this is not going to help things. No block on the Zontet, and Dawn bursts. Maybe, like you said, an overdrive that was just a little bit too late.
can't
A
really
little bit of
tell
a precarious
here.
situation now. No conversion on the counter hit.
Something really stupid is going to happen in the next 15 seconds. I don't know what it's going to be.
It's going to involve
but it's
dual
gonna be
bios and
very
Yukikaze. Never mind.
Oh my goodness.
Ryukasim stealing the round.
That is certainly highway robbery, Tomato. I think that's stealing is a very apt word here.
Yeah, he still had that gun. Just went, put him up. Put all the cash in the bag. It's mine now. And look at the overdrive advantage now. Since Don burst last round, Ryukasim has a full overdrive, fully stocked, and it's going to take so long for Don to get his back.
Yo, okay, we're gonna talk about this round start win or lose for Ryukasim because I actually really want to get in depth with that. We'll talk about it in a moment. Right now, Ryukasim trying to clean this up against Don here. 2C ends up connecting, the throw hits, overdrive is
the command
popped.
dash throw into the.
It's not going to be enough
Not going to
damage
be
to
enough,
kill.
unfortunately.
But this knockdown's going to be pretty
is a
decent.
huge
Active
position,
flow as
though.
well. All it could take is just one throw into super, and Ryukasim will find themselves in a pretty great position here.
Oh, wow, what an air-to-air JA coming out from Don with the read. But Ryukasim stuffing out the Valtsus, gonna get a chance to play once again.
Oh my goodness.
Don with the lowest air throw.
That was a gear air throw and a half. I'm not gonna lie. You cannot be delay teching right there. This could be from
No, you
bad to worse,
cannot.
but you might
You're
want to
dead.
look at the
You're
burst
dead.
stages here. Oh,
That
that
drop seat.
combo might be it. No, that is
Oh
so
my
tragic.
gosh. That is so tragic.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That was definitely gonna be like a triple super, and you know Don taking it. But if that
Yeah, he
went
was
wrong
dead.
and there was a Yukikaze, I would not be shocked if we saw Hakumen on the windscreen there. That was
yeah,
pretty
that's
crazy.
just feels
Feels bad.
bad.
It is what it is, right? You know, these things happen. Let's talk about a couple of things that are coming up here for Boston Blue Beat in general, right? So our monthly is coming up literally this weekend. So if you guys are interested in mashing in person up here at Boston, Massachusetts, our monthly is going to be on November 16th, 2024, and it will feature our usual slew of games: BlazBlue, Under Night, Guilty Gear, Melty Blood, Sailor Moon S, and Grand Blue. So we'll have a ton of games for y'all to go through, and I think it'll be a very, very fantastic time.
Please select your
But yeah, so please come through. It's always a good time. It's like a couple of weeks before Thanksgiving. You want to get some games in. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. So I want to talk about the early round interaction in Game 3. I wanted to talk about the early round interaction in Game 3, but we have Maknchess and Arklancer that are already raring to go here in the loser's side top 8. Maknchess, who we didn't get the chance to see earlier, had fallen to Orgard and then managed to beat MacMens and has found themselves in this position here against Arklancer, who had torn their way through the loser's bracket to make their way here. Seeing an early overdrive on the instant JC from neutral here. A couple of Stein shots. A lot of Stein shots are connecting, actually.
Just a couple.
JC ends up getting blocked here, but Maknchess still finding another hit. And right now in neutral, both players swinging pretty heavily, but it seems that Maknchess so far not quite has the lead anymore, but plenty of meter to work with here.
Yeah, Maknchess keeping the pressure up on Arklancer, not letting her really get set up, but the overdrive is going to come out. Not quite going to be enough. But Arklancer may be able to get a setup off this. Quick rise and Maknchess is out of there.
A lot of these stray JCs are doing a
Counter
lot of
assault
work for
rips.
Maknchess. And again, we saw this.
Yeah.
We saw the same sort of thing in the last streamed match from Arklancer, where a lot of these more panicky decisions really not working out in their favor. You know, we see the DP coming out here, the counter assault from earlier when S was much farther away. You know, while they do allow Arklancer to get a few stray hits, they sometimes end up being the cause of her doom here. That's a very unfortunate drop combo. I really like the 6A to check some of the movement from Maknchess. They have so far used
the RC special, but the drop again coming out.
the RC special, my brother in Christ. That was a mash DP and hit stun. There was a lot more going on there. Another DP here?
That is also
a lot of
true.
Decisions.
Yeah, these two are they're going at it. They're going at it. We've got the CEO 2024. I don't know what it was.
2024.
The CEO
It was this
2024 bronze medalist. And
against
you've
Arc.
already elaborated on the decision making that Arklancer is presenting with this very disrespectful set of defensive decisions that she is
Oh,
making.
I wouldn't
and
even say it's
continuing to make.
necessarily disrespectful in so much as it's like, it feels like it's very much so like kind of like a default panic response option, right? Like, it's less, I don't care about your offense, I'm going to enforce my own will, and more like, Jesus Christ, this is happening, I need to get out now, right? It can sometimes look like the same thing, right, in terms of people making like very aggressive decisions, but like just kind of based on how a lot of the interactions are going, I feel like it is more panic than anything else. I like the Oki there from
That makes sense. Oh, instant overhead, but no conversion from Maknchess. And maybe you could say the difference maker between disrespectful offense, defense and panic defense is how confident you are when you actually decide to block.
Yeah, like,
Does that make any sense?
I think it makes sense.
Oh
And it's
my
also,
gosh,
like,
we did it again.
It's also kind of like the places in, like, it's very difficult to describe the personality of it necessarily, but there's a feeling of almost belligerence to it, where you're like, no, like, I am enforcing this and you have to deal with it. Whereas in this case, like, we see it come up in many interactions, both from neutral and, like, on defense. So I feel like it's giving that a little bit more. But, you know, something to maybe talk about.
Oh, no! That was a nightmare burst from Maknchess.
Can we talk
Very
about
lucky that
Arklancer?
wasn't worse.
Can we talk about Arklancer just standing there menacingly and just clicking 6A on the inevitable IADJC for Maknchess? That was insane.
No, yeah, I was gonna get to that. Like, Maknchess was lucky the burst bait wasn't worse, and then Arklancer pulled out the Soul Read 6A. Very, very, yeah.
Like, that's less hard read. That's like you opened up the book and saw the next chapter in this person's life and said, like, your next move is IADJC. That's very funny to watch.
I mean, it is the CEO bronze medalist.
I mean, it's less maybe on that in terms of that sort of stuff, and more that like Maknchess, like especially early in this game, in this set in general, has shown like a hard willingness to like opt for a lot of JCs to get out of the corner, and as well as like a lot of JC usage like in neutral. So to me, it makes sense for like Arklancer to play it a bit more patiently. And whoa, that DP over there. It makes sense for Arklancer to play it a little more patiently and some off of some knockdowns and just say, you know what, I'm just gonna wait and maybe I'll 6A or maybe I'll just keep it simple. There are times in which you run against players that are willing to show very risky defensive options and it can startle you. It's very important to say, you know what, no, I'm not gonna let myself get so caught up in this. I'm just gonna keep it very simple, by the book, couple of frame traps, solid like offensive decision making, and a willingness to hesitate a couple of times in order to check for a few options. You can see that working out pretty well
absolutely.
in favor of Arklancer.
Yeah, learn to sit back and observe, you might say. And Arklancer finding
Not
the
everything
AA
needs a reaction. Is this what we're going for?
Yes.
Oh god.
That is in fact where I was going. Nice side switch by Maknchess.
Yeah, pretty good stuff here. Should be able to still go for JCJ DOP if they so choose. Ooh, that's a lot of dip on the chip
One
there.
bajillion blue beats.
Good throw tech, and I
Throw
think
tech.
that was an instant
Oh,
Ikutachi.
no.
Like immediately
Yeah.
afterwards, that got clipped.
Yeah,
this is-
I mean, clipped is certainly a word for it. Maknchess pressed 5C. I think Maknchess maybe could have killed there,
Oh my
but
god.
not
I'm
gonna matter
lie.
at the end of the.
That was less a full. That was less a clip and more like the whole like video. I'm not gonna lie to you. These J2Cs
caught,
from
caught in
Arklancer.
4K, you might say.
So to speak. A quick 5C Stein set here, and I think that. Oh, okay. Going for the Ikutachi. It's not going to end up leading into too much damage here. Again, a nice placement on the 6A. And you've seen a lot of like ODs coming out from Arklancer. Normally you see them burst a bit more frequently, but they're very much so like saying to Maknchess, like, hey, like, I'm going to OD on your offense. I need you to cut some of this out. But Maknchess is not willing to change that game plan there. Whether it's ultimately beneficial or not, you know, it's a little complicated maybe. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, that's the nature of having a more gambly playstyle. Sometimes your opponent will try to put a stop to it, and it'll just be in your favor anyway. You're not dead!
You're not
okay.
You're not
Sliver of life now for
I'm so
Arklancer,
happy I said that
and the
so
Fireball
confidently,
gonna
because
take
I
it.
was going to scream if I was wrong. I'm going to be very frank with you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
That is going to be
shit
the
killed.
set.
I was-
It's going to be Maknchess 2-1 over Arklancer in the loser side. And now Maknchess will fight against Ryuga. Our next set coming in, however, is going to be Moblin versus Octopus. You wanna talk about that for a moment? I got to grab a quick glass of water. Is that all right?
Yeah, absolutely. Hydrate, gamers. That is what you have to do. Moblin losing out on the Hakumen mirror. Maybe not too fond of this matchup, but Moblin actually just beat ChemicalJade 2-1 to qualify for top 8, eliminating her in 9th. So, facing 2 9s back-to-back, not the most attractive bracket path, but having taken down 1, I think that puts a little bit of confidence in you to say, okay, I know how like the matchup goes, and you can sort of get in a groove and approach the next set from the point of view of, okay, I just beat 1 9, I have to fight another. Octo's going to do some things differently from what ChemicalJade is doing because they're 2 different players. Based on what I know that 9 does as a base level, how can I be ready to adapt in a situation like this and snatch the upper hand in a matchup that I don't really know how this matchup goes. I think it's probably, no, I just don't know. I'd certainly say both characters are pretty competent. Hakumen moves like he's got his shoelaces tied together. But 9 not really exempt from that category either. So, how these 2 players leverage their movement and how they position themselves to hit their pokes. 9 with her 5B and her 5C and her 6C and her 3C, and Hakumen with 4C and the air buttons, the massive JC, things like that. It's going to be very much a game of mobility made and broken by how players approach and how they retreat and what kind of commitments they make when they do that. Yeah, and that's why I'm not really surprised to see so much commitment as this match starts. Octopiss finding the Amethyst, not really able to get anything started though, and Moblin with very, very safe stagger offense, escaping the Amethyst. Very methodical approach to the start of this game from both players, and Moblin striking first with the J2A, I believe.
Oh my god, 6B. 6B once more. Please do it again. I promise you it'll work. Hello.
It's 18 frames. Like,
It's mad fast.
It is- huh?
It's so fast, I'm not gonna lie. I get clipped by
Yeah,
it and I'm like,
it's-
I'm an idiot.
It's the fastest standing overhead in the game. That's going to be not quite an unblockable. Unfortunately, Octo mistimed it a little bit, but Rock is in the back. Good old Rock, they say. And they're very damn well right too.
There's a decent
good
amount of
doesn't
meter on deck for both sides. They're really good sniping with the anti-air right there
That
from
was
Octo.
sick.
Oh no, baby, what is he doing? You can't be mashing on that seed. No, don't do that. Don't do that. That's rough.
Yeah, I'm curious what Octo is looking for there. Not going for the high-low, hard to blockable with the Morganite J2A. Maybe expecting a counter of some kind from Moblin, but able to find the round at the end of the day with Moblin. Unfortunately, like you said, hanging himself, mashing into the Morganite, and that is going to be a conversion.
Yeah, that was a very
Nobody got
quick
me, I know Kuzai got
J2B
me.
into the Rock for a full convert. Nice pickup off of the fairies as well. This is going to be a good knockdown. Rock is stocked. It's going to be a hard to blockable, but haven't gotten the chance to talk about it quite yet. you know, while Nine's Oki is quite good, you know, Hakumen is still able to use tools like 5D and 2D and special cancel from counter in order to not necessarily fully nullify it, but it is a proficient way of getting through a lot of like otherwise precarious situations here. We're seeing a quick knockdown
100%.
into seed here, potential left-right, but again, it's 2D. You don't have to deal with left-rights when your counter's hitting both sides, but that burst is
that sucks.
unfortunate. Yeah, that's just a scenario where you've already gotten hit, you have to burst, but 9 is already at a range in which it's not going to hit, so it's just unfortunate. This is one of those scenarios in which, right, like the overdrive would have had to come, the overdrive or the burst would have had to come at a different timing, and that can be difficult to make that decision somewhat in advance. So I, you know, no shade or nothing.
Yeah,
like that.
especially when you're Hakumen and you're constantly weighing the value of your overdrive based on what the other character is doing. I thought we were going to see like a misfinder counter hit conversion there off that wall stick, but unfortunately, Moblin not able to make anything of it. And once again, Moblin nullifying this Oki, like you said with the counters, blocked on the rock this time.
Things are looking fine for the time being. It's a lot of stars. Oh, Santetsu! Oh my god, I'm genuinely surprised I caught. That's going to be a quick 4K in favor of Moblin.
Oh, you died.
That's pretty fantastic.
You died. And Moblin going to spend overdrive to secure this kill. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I think this is a great decision.
I agree with you. Not only do you net the kill, but ending in EA means that you popped active flow, so you get a little bit of the burst gauge back quickly. You're not necessarily going to need your OD super early, typically, in a matchup like this. You get a little bit of time to work with.
Yeah.
But, Jesus Christ, there's a lot on the
did it,
screen,
damn.
man. I'm not gonna. That's a
Yeah.
lot. That was.
There's that unblockable coming out once again with like a bajillion spells, maybe pressure for the... I guess it doesn't matter, does it?
That was a really weird scramble. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think I've seen a
That was a good combo too. That was
Oh
a very
my
good
God.
combo. Zontet's finding the mark again.
You gotta watch the dome. These Zontetsu's hitting is leading to so much damage.
Oh, you
Air throw
died.
connects as well, and that is going to be the game.
Yeah, Moblin very decisively swiping that game 2 right out of the hands of Octo. Not for lack of trying, though. Just had some, just kind of had the reads, I feel like, in that situation. And these counters really proving to be a problem. Octo gonna have to come up with a way to deal with these counters. Gonna have to get creative.
Wheel of Fate is turning.
Yeah, I think that's one of those issues that Octo's running into where, like, trying to learn where to either delay certain hits or opt for certain throws is a little difficult. Because 9's walk speed is so slow, like, it's not as easy for her to, like, approach throw range without making it obvious while still setting up certain projectile Loki. So I think for Octo right now, it's on them to, you know, try to find a few places to add certain delays, or switch up the tempo with like a couple of different buttons in order to, you know, net some hits. But Moblin with the 5D reaches into the ether and pulls 9 away.
Yeah, it's such a funny... Honestly, I will never not laugh when Hakumen hits 5D, except when he hits me with it. Then I'm not laughing, obviously. But finding the punish on the counter is Octo. Holy crap!
I love the Yanagi. Do it again, in fact. Oh my god.
100%. Good overdrive coming up from Moblin. Catching out the 2B. Nothing you can do. Octo gonna pay dearly for that burst.
Yeah, this is looking pretty tough. And we've seen the scenario happen before in this like stream already where like Octo will watch a defensive OD on one of 9's buttons, but they'll still opt for like, you know, throwing something out there given the fact that, you know, ODing on some of 9's buttons can be very difficult. So, you know, they'll throw something out in order to like, trade or counter hit like a very rewarding punish, but that scenario ends up not working out in their favor at the end of that last round here. And things are looking all Moblin right now. I'm not gonna lie. That was a very cool corner carry conversion. Doesn't end up working in his favor, but still pretty decent stuff here. Rock is available. Oh
my
gosh!
gosh!
That was a guess. I'm not gonna lie. That was not one of those scenarios where it's like, I know you're gonna do this. That's like, I'm not throw OSing. I'm just gonna grip you, and we're gonna see what happens. And that ends up.
I think Octo was I think Octo was actually trying to shimmy there as well to make the throw with, but unfortunately, Moblin was just too ready.
Yeah, still being
slow
in
walk,
throw
like you
range is
said, for
genuinely unfortunate. And scenarios like this is where like Nine's walk speed really hurts her, where she's not able to maneuver around this throw range as well as certain other characters with high walk speeds, right? Whether that's Naoto with his ability to kind of like walk back, dash up, or other characters, right? That was really good stuff from Moblin. I like the adjustments. It's very nice to look at someone kind of like lean into some of their other tools and, you know, work on those adjustments on the fly. So good stuff to them, and of course great stuff for Octo. Thank y'all for coming along here. Oh, and I should
Absolutely.
add that
Top
like,
8 in a bracket like this, nothing to seize, nothing
it's tough.
to sneeze at.
I should also add that, like, you know, despite Nine's walk speed being slow, like, it still is important to walk as Nine, as backwards as that might at first seem. It's complicated. I don't play that character, but it's
Yeah,
necessary.
you just have to
trust me.
represent the bad options. I don't think it's that complicated.
Oh, it's
have
not
to
even a bad
represent
option to
those
walk.
kinds
It's
of
good. It's really good, but it's just the fact that, like, at the end of the day, it's still linear. So it's
That is
it's weird. It's a weird catch-22, but I'm gonna put that aside for the time being because I'm gonna lose my marbles watching this set. This is gonna be Ryukasin versus Maknchess. I'm expecting some insanity, quite frankly.
Yeah.
At least that's what I said. But right now, it's actually been pretty calm. Nobody's really doing anything super wild right now.
Yeah, I don't think it's unfair though to say this is just the calm before the storm, because this is sort of how this set with Moblin and Octo started. Maknchess skipping a couple layers with that empty throw, catching Ryukasin asleep at the wheel. Gonna get a huge chunk of damage out of it too, and a great setup.
Ooh,
Never
a little
mind.
too much
I
in the
forgot
combo
Maknchess
right
goes
there.
for that.
Yeah, had to opt to end the combo a little bit earlier and then maybe look for, like, you know, their Oki of choice here. A couple of unfortunate
Yeah,
drops.
that fireball-
The crest ends up working out pretty
That
decently
fireball
here.
knockdown that you saw. I was gonna say that fireball knockdown, that slide knockdown that S gets off of the EX Perun or fireball. That's usually where most S players will end the combo, but Maknchess goes for an air reset there. He's the only S player I've seen do it, and it always makes me scratch my head.
Yeah, I don't know. He just likes doing stuff that's fun. Kind of the...
That he does.
Yeah. Right now...
Yeah, and inquiring. Oh my gosh.
Staring down the barrel of a Hakumen with full meter, you dared to approach and you nearly die. That is quite rough here. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
Ryukasin looking so hard for that counter assault. Gonna find the counter though to lock it up. But yeah, inquiring minds have asked Maknchess before, why do you play like this?
Inquiring minds?
And Maknchess's answer, which I think is completely valid, is because he has fun playing this way.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh, God. However, that being said, man, some of these counters are starting to land a bit more frequently for Ryukasin here, and we've seen him opt for it many times. I genuinely
Okay,
can't
if that
tell
throw
if
was green, I got hit.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
If that purple throw was a green throw, I 100% got hit. I don't.
Oh, yes. Ooh, and a couple of unfortunate drops
Holy
there,
crap,
like
what a
missing
2C.
missing the JC there. Not able to whiff punish on the 2C, sadly, which ends up letting Ryukasin kind of get away in neutral and eating at Zantetsu. That's active flow, that's OD. I believe, sir, that's going to be a dead S on the
Nope. A lot of pixel. But, like, what difference does it make?
It could...
Yep.
You know, I was going to tell you a story, but the JD closed the book on me.
Yeah. You brought up walking actually last set, and you saw Ryukasin getting that hit off 2B stagger, walk up 2B Zantetsu.
I'm not gonna lie, it reminded me of 16-year-old me, like, attempting to play Ryu in Third Strike. I was not very good at that game. I did like the walk-up 2B, double 2B, though. I think that was actually really cool.
Yeah, that button's pretty minus, too. So Ryukasin was, like, very much leveraging the patience of Maknchess against him.
Because there's always the option, right? Like, you're always wondering, like, is this going to be the special cancel into 2 and 4A? The, Kishu, I think it is? I always forget. You know, 2 and 4A, and on normal block, it's +1, so you're always wondering if there's going to be the special cancel into plus frames or not. Counter coming in here, it's going to look pretty great for Ryukasin, I'm not going to lie. Ends up getting the blue B combo. I'm not going to lie, I don't blame Ryukasin. I would keep doing the 6A, 6B until they normal tech. Sometimes you kind of almost have to prove a point.
Oh, you died. Maknchess bursting.
Yeah, I think that's one of the
Maybe looking for an
scenarios where-
overdrive.
Yeah, either they were looking to OD or they really, really didn't want to die. But that puts them at a very awkward, puts them in an awkward position in terms of this round now.
I'm gonna
have
go
to
one
pop
step
active
past the
mode.
awkward. I'd say this is pretty terrible. Because you're gonna have
Yes.
to deal. You're gonna have to deal with. Yeah, you're gonna have to deal with 2 overdrives.
So-
if you want to win this game.
It's not S
There's
without
the first
OD,
one.
that's the problem. It's the many, many counters that's really the major issue. That's like the smoking gun, so to speak. Like, that instance of double JD is insane, of course. But just the number of counters that Rikusen is able to hit in order to transition out of his defense has been really potent. You see the 6D coming out right there as Maknchess tries
Exactly,
to reset
yeah.
defense.
Yeah,
Right,
he
like-
put the punctuation mark on for you right there.
Yeah, that's just that. I feel like Toll is a bigger issue than popping the burst, which is still can be a lot, right?
Yeah.
Like Maknchess
Yeah.
using the burst is not necessarily the worst in that S's OD is
Well,
not super
that's true.
crazy.
Let me put it this way.
Yeah, spit game to me. What's up?
Because when you're okay, you're in Maknchess's shoes. You're down a game. You're down a round. They
Yeah.
have overdrive. You don't. And yeah, the value that you really want to be talking about is burst, because this guy has won 3 straight rounds, right? No,
Sure.
not 3 straight rounds.
I know what you mean.
But
Don't worry about it.
he has a grip of momentum nonetheless, and not having burst, because the burst in that situation is a little bit of a safety net you can use to stop the bleeding when things are getting too out of hand, because you're gonna have to start making adaptations, you're gonna have to start making reads, and you have to have that burst in the back in the event that you're wrong, and not having that forces you to be right every single time until you get that back, especially fighting Hawkman, who has his own overdrive and is gonna delete you when you're wrong.
I'll reframe it this way, in a sense, and we'll table it probably until maybe after this set of something. Is that most of the time when Hawkman's landing a sizable counter hit, he's popping OD anyway, and your burst is locked out. That's not to say that using the burst is not a major thing to lose there. It is. There's no stones about it. Being able to pop OD on certain offensive mix-ups, etc., it's just great. But that while the burst and OD scenario is very important, what ended up being more relevant at the time was the number of counters that were connecting against Maknchess. It really hampered their ability to continue their offense. It hampered their ability to pilot themselves in neutral, because they what a quick rise! 5A! Damn, that was sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, he deserves to lose the round though, because he didn't kill.
Oh, there's no such thing as deserves in fighting games. Things are going to happen regardless.
That is fair. That is fair. Yeah.
There's no
Icecool
such thing as
not very
deserves in
happy
fighting
about that
games.
quick rise.
The moment you start thinking about like that, woo, that's a lot of anger. The deep held 5D. My God.
Bro let it all ride on that counter and was rewarded. Anti-air 5A though, catching out the whiff from Icecool.
Counter works out here from Moblin. It's a good knockdown, is solid as well. Not checking for the delay tickle from JTC. I'm a little surprised by that. But that being said, this is looking real good. Ooh, I like this confirm as well. Quick little 3K here. Plus friends, but on the IB that is still -1. Really good awareness from Icecool to look for that special cancel option. That's a whiff, JB.
Holy crap, you died, you died.
Okay, let's see. He's not going to be able to build enough meter with this confirm, sadly. So this ends up ending kind of awkwardly. And this could still end up being very dangerous here. If Icecool manages to get a good counter hit into like an OD, especially with active
like that
in the back, this could get very bad.
Oh, with the throw. Yeah, the whole situation reversed. No Magatama, no overdrive, and they're going to die for this. Never mind. Moblin's choosing the burst.
This is a big bet.
Yeah.
Dash up.
You want to talk about
against dash up against Enma? That is a pair of wild decisions. You can't lie to me. You were saying?
No, I don't really have anything to add. Let's just move on from that. How about it?
Wait,
Like
that's
you said,
okay,
we'll
big
table
guy.
it.
That's all right.
Yeah,
It
we'll
is what it
table
is.
it for later. Hakumen 6B putting in work all bracket, bro.
And a lot of these.
You want to talk about
TVs are
safety
wrong.
nets, though? You want to talk about safety nets in the Hakumen matchup? Let's talk about Susan's massive freaking health bar.
Baby, what did you press on wake up against Susan? No.
Yeah, having the ability to output damage like that and have health like that to be able to sort of go band for band, so to speak, with Hakumen in the damage department, and again, the burst not working.
Band
out.
for band, Moblin went broke with the burst. It was so unfortunate.
I mean, he
that
did. He
Moblin-
did.
It's unfortunate, Moblin was forced to burst there. Just the fact that he would have literally died. But again, right, eating the burst against characters that have very strong overdrives is fine, because the next hit that, even if Moblin managed to get a hit in like the resultant's like scenario, like it comes with like way less potential damage on the back pocket. Like it's such a major thing that you don't have to worry about. That is such I am shocked that he was staggered that long. That feels like a Kokonoe counter hit button, I'm not gonna lie. And I've gotten hit by a lot of Coco 5Cs, JCs, and like.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I blinked and I missed it, but Icecool definitely gonna make sure Moblin doesn't forget this one.
This is looking pretty tough. Blue
Oh,
beat
Blue beat,
confirmed.
no!
Yeah,
No,
and some of these
Moblin
counters,
believed in his combo.
Yeah, and some of these counters were working out pretty well for Moblin right now, but it feels like Icecool has a pretty good sense
gotta
of
be
the
done.
current RPS that Moblin is opting for here, and that's resulting in such powerful hits. This is already going to be a perfect for game 2 right now. And this is going to be pretty tough. Icecool already managed to generate so much of that burst gauge back going into this next round.
Yeah, well put. The Yomi is just so, like, Icecool's grasp of the Yomi is just so there, and Moblin's gonna have to find, just gonna have to find a foothold of some kind. Holds the counter for so long.
5D lasts from that long, man. I'm not gonna lie, I genuinely thought I saw Hakumen start to recover, and then I watched
Me
as
too.
he pulled like Susanoo into his loving arms to slam him onto the ground.
Oh, counter hit Agito as well. Icecool maybe looking for a counter hit. Excuse me, a 2C got counter hit instead. Holy crap!
I don't know if that was a throw OS that ended up getting reversed into
No.
a throw and became 6 ABC there. I genuinely have no idea, or if that was just a in the cut throw. I genuinely cannot tell. Instant J2C
Yeah,
ends up connecting here. This could potentially kill, but there needs to be a lot of damage on the table. DPRC, text the purple throw. Moblin doing a pretty good job here. Has to find legit one last hit.
wow.
Anything could do it. Even the chit from a special. But it's the Quick
Yep.
Rise 5A that ends up taking the round here.
Let your nuts hang, I guess.
You gotta do what you gotta do. Quick Rise is
Oh,
so
100%.
belligerent, but so good when your opponent is when your opponent is looking heavily for like the flash of the music or the flash of the war. It will catch people off guard all the time. I cannot tell you the amount of
Yeah,
times they
100%.
anticipate
Oh, no.
the Quick Rise 5C. This is a good amount of damage, but most importantly, it ends up like getting rid of the overdrive timer. Active Flow is coming up soon for Hakumen, for Icecool
Yeah.
rather. Apologies.
Yeah, not to mention the unlocks now on Icecool's side. Row is set for the rest of the round, and this could be the last one that Moblin plays tonight. Oh, that's gonna do it.
Versus
Into the
possible
overdrive.
but he ends up coming
Not
out
able
here.
to find the
Oh
right
my
overdrive. Whiffing the DP. It will not
there's a
work out
chance
twice
here.
in a row, but
And it's gone.
There's no
it's
chance.
just gone.
yeah.
Ripped asunder Icecool. Finding a wild hit and ends up taking the set there. Not in the way that I was going to expect. I won't lie to you here. Folks, our top 3 is almost set here. We have Oregard and Dawn waiting patiently in winners finals. In our losers quarters, or loser semis rather, is Ryukasim versus Icecool.
Yeah. You want to sneak in an ad read real quick? We probably got some shilling to do.
You can't denounce it. Now it's not sneaky. Look at what you've done.
Well,
We could talk about it. Don't worry. I'm giving you shit. Don't worry.
that is true. My
Gotta-
bad. you like made me pause so hard there.
Don't
Yeah.
look.
Do we
I'm not a
have,
meme-
for
I'm not a
example-
meme guy. The art of segues
No.
is crazy. The art of segueing is a difficult one. I will tell you this right now.
is.
We will discuss.
Yeah,
this
you know what's
in a
not difficult?
What's up?
You know what's not difficult?
It's not hard.
Exclamation point, Matcherino.
I'm mad that you actually managed to do that smoothly. I'm so mad. You actually managed to do that, and I will give you that. That was wild.
Thank you.
That's
yeah.
a good. That's
Just
a
like
good-
Toledo's gonna give you that segue, how about you guys give us some codes? Am I right, fellas?
Yes.
How
And
many do
again,
we have?
guys,
Where
it's a
are-
very simple process. I'm telling you right now, I just did it. I hit like 4 buttons to sign in, and boom, a little bit of extra money in the pot. It's as easy as that. Trust us, folks. Helps the players, helps the TOs out. Always want to put in a little bit of cash for some blazblue.
Yeah,
Now-
absolutely. And don't forget to subscribe to the Matcherino YouTube channel to put a little bit extra in as well. I'm gonna hang off personally and do it because I have like 7 accounts. I'm gonna do it after the bracket.
Yeah, do what you got to do here. So,
But
Again-
it'd be cool if you didn't leave any codes for me. That'd be pretty cool too, because we've got 95 viewers and there's 34 codes, so we can knock that out.
got a lot of
I
people.
believe in y'all.
So, before we get into our winners final set, and again, once you guys are ready, you can go into it immediately. Don't worry about us yapping. Trust me. Once again, if you guys missed it earlier, for our Boston Blue Beat monthly offline, it's coming up this weekend. In fact, it's going to be on November 16th on Saturday. The usual slew of games at the usual times. 4 p.m. for BlazBlue, 5 p.m. for Unity 2, 6 p.m. for Guilty Gear Strive. You see the times and names for the other games coming up here. We ain't got to tell you that too much. Again, doors open at about 2 p.m. So, folks, please come in, have a good time, and mash a ton of games and kill each other in good fun. That being said, folks, and again,
go to your locals.
yes, I also forgot. And guys, you can feel free to queue up for the game. Real quick, our next weeklies are coming up tomorrow and on Wednesday, respectively. If you want to see some Plus R on Tuesday, and if you want to see some Under Night on Wednesday. Now, that being said, folks, y'all got to ready up. I'm trying to see some games.
That we are.
What's
I
up?
said in chat, all right, Alex, get in here and cook this guy.
We'll see how it goes.
Please select
I
Yeah.
genuinely don't know the record between these two in terms of player match.
I think Don usually would close it out, but Aura can do it. Aura can very much do it. Especially like Aura already beat Icecool. If you beat Icecool, you can beat Don.
Yeah.
And Aura has beaten Don before. So I think this will be a very competitive set.
Oh, for sure. So couple of things to get out of the way as the set comes in here. Really important to note, Ignis will block projectiles when she's active. So you might see cases in which Dawn is trying to activate the doll at full screen or send out a lot of 2 and 4 A's in order to block certain sword usages from Aerodat. Right now, though, I'm not gonna lie, that's not worked out in his favor. It's been a couple counters.
That was a lot of damage, actually. Yeah. Oh wow. There, like you said, Don sent out the doll full screen, poked Aura out of the 5D. But
Yeah.
Aura very much undeterred, continuing to output damage upon damage, spending the overdrive to secure the kill. I agree, 100%.
Yeah, without the OD and without the active flow, that would not have killed. That's really great awareness from Aerodat on the current resources and the ability to kill. Watching for active flow and kind of having a sense for when it pops is a very difficult thing to do when it's difficult, but it's very rewarding. Simply because there's literally no game.
Oh, wow.
That's a smart 6D usage right there. Which ends up connecting against Dawn despite the 2 and 4 A's sending, Ignis.
Yeah, that was a
Surge.
6DD, I believe. It was the drive follow-up. No, the 5DD is what it is. The follow-up that comes in at a downward angle. And we can also see Aura representing a lot of 4Ds if it spawns behind Relius. Ignis can't really block Relius from projectiles back there. And nothing you
Exactly.
can do about this. You gotta hold it.
And it's fine. The mix-up from
Love what
Legacy
we've been
Edge isn't
seeing from
super
Aura
heavy,
so
but
far.
tagging Dawn up in neutral, and that's a quick game 1. Again, it's winners finals. We got, at minimum, 3 games to work with here, so there's plenty of time for both of these players to make some adjustments. We saw earlier in one of those rounds there where Dawn was trying to use some of 2 and 4B to spawn Ignis behind Beauregard, and Ignis will hover at her location after specials for a short period of time, which is why you see Dawn like kind of trying to opt for some of the tricky off-screen 6Ds to get a quick counter hit on Beauregard and then eventually sandwich him off of a potential counter hit. Right now, though, Beauregard's been able
Sneaky
to
dash
use
under,
around
though.
Dawn very smoothly here. Should be able to get
Yeah,
near
Don
corner
not
stab.
getting a chance to set up. Don not getting a chance to set up Ignis. Not really getting a chance to conserve this barrier either. That's another thing you'll have to keep in the back of your mind. Don maybe using it a little bit too much, barriering in the air. Block on the 6A. Great defense.
Okay, so quick note: if
Yep.
Ignis is out and you OD against Relius, don't.
Yeah, just the A. Just the A.
And not even that, it's just the fact that Relius is able to, summon Ignis or like make an Ignis call like during, after that super flash. So it really doesn't work out super well in your favor if you're trying to like offer certain things. Whoa,
Damn, he converted that?
That was
was
really weird. I'm genuinely
clean
at a
as
loss for
hell.
words. That was strange to like see.
Yeah, R is playing out of his mind, actually. I've been waiting to say it. I'm going to say it. R is playing out of his mind.
You can say it. Ain't nobody stopping.
Putting on a masterclass with this character. Gonna be able to convert this into a kill with the RC. 3 straight rounds. Count them.
I'm not gonna lie, this is looking real good, but we'll see what comes up. And we see the 2 and 4A
like you
once
said.
again coming in, trying to get around some of the projectiles. But as you mentioned earlier, Tomato, Beauregard has adjusted like which projectiles and which drive moves that they're opting to use, whether that's 4D, whether that's drive follow-ups, which will spawn an entirely new sword, or using wheel in certain cases to catch Relius, despite Ignis invulnerability.
Look at that!
You see the 4D, that was a 2 and 4B that nearly caught Beauregard. Mind you, the timing for that 4D was very tight here. You can see that Dawn is having a difficult time trying to get around U13's like neutral right now. The cross under,
Yeah.
quick
Overdrive? No way
this
this kills.
isn't going to kill. This is going to lead
No,
to a
not
lot
quite.
of damage.
Yeah, this situation is really terrible for Don. Anything will do it. Finding the counter hit, though, and this is all Relius needs. Like you said, the offense so safe, so difficult to contest.
Oh my!
R just have to find
I've never
something.
seen that happen. The delay air dash sending Relius away. I genuinely have not seen Relius accidentally send himself out of range there. That is pretty tough.
Tragic.
That
Yeah, not
genuinely sucks. That was fun.
not the kind of error you want to make when you're trying him out a comeback like that. And that was the hit. Like,
that could have been that could have been like the way to get the party started. I want to talk a little bit about Beauregard's movement here. We mentioned how they're very willing to go for a lot of these cross unders and maneuver around an opponent when they feel that they've committed to certain decision making here. But one thing that you might not notice, given how successful Beauregard has been in neutral, is that he hasn't been willing yet to actually hit Ignis when she's whiffing. Right? Hitting Ignis when she whiffs is really, really important to do, as you get to stunt the regeneration. And on top of that, you get to like force her out for a period of time to have a brief, respite, right? Now in this case, due to some of the blue, due to like the blue gauge, right? Dawn was not able to recover Ignis gauge in time, which caused her to despawn entirely. Look at how the neutral changes so much with Dawn trying desperately to use a lot of these 2-3-6As, the spins, which ended up working out in his favor, but again, you see the immediate switch in like Dawn's decision making with Ignis off of the table, and now Beauregard quickly started.
I love the way that R has been using the screen as well. I want to talk about that. Look, oh my gosh,
Yeah, that's death, by the way.
that was so crazy. But yeah, R had his back to the corner, had the opportunity to run in for pressure, and was like, no, I'm going to IAD over his head, and I'm going to put the entire stage behind me instead, so I have all this room to just run. And that's 5 straight rounds, right?
That is 5, so he has not dropped
Yeah,
the
5 straight rounds.
But now you have to deal with Relius Oki. The delay overhead ends up connecting. Can be a little difficult to Fuzzy Guard, especially with his ability to alter timing. You see the empty jump low now this time. Dawn trying to change some of the options, trying to change his future, in fact. Things are looking pretty great, honestly. Could have been a dual
Yeah, that
bias
is gonna
going
be
up here,
around.
but- Oh no!
The
That
drop?
is an awkward drop.
Yeah, not the kind of error you want to make. This is a much more difficult comeback for you. Yeah, the 2D just barely whiffing. Don finding a way to stop the bleeding, but still on tournament life.
Yeah, if you want to
No,
get your
the
first
winner's
round
side back,
here,
winner's side
yeah,
back.
making it a perfect is definitely a good way to sell it here. Again, right, you know, we were talking about it earlier. The drive follow-ups here have been really successful for Oregard in not only is he maintaining a spacing where Ignis 2 and 4A is whiffing, but he's also able to find the timing for a counter hit afterwards. So it's been really, really good. A 4D now coming in.
Oh,
Oregard's ability to mix
sick.
in, you know, these different swords has been really, really excellent so far.
yeah, I love the JC there also to stuff what I believe was a buzzsaw. Wow!
Yep.
I
another
cannot
hit
believe he
coming
stuck that 2D in. That was insane.
With overdrive available now, that's a really good defensive option to maintain. If he ends up getting an OD in active form, no longer a possibility, so we'll talk about it later. But this is looking real good for
Looking for
Oregard.
the Murakumo air throw.
Yeah, that is a bold thing to do. Again, things could still go from bad to worse here. Not able to fully convert after the quick hit.
Oh,
But the
that's
2
gonna
and 4
do
D
it.
from a distance will end up getting it done. And that will be 3-0 for Oregard. Really
That
excellent
was
stuff
free
on the new 13.
That was free-o.
That wasn't free. That wasn't free. It was 3-0. I wouldn't call it free. I wouldn't call it free. The way that new 13 is required to play, the way that Dawn plays, especially with the neutral presence, it's difficult to call it free. I think that was simply like Oregard playing really, really well. You know, I would say that Dawn, you know, still put up.
Yeah,
a
I see what you
reasonable
mean. I see
effort
what you
there.
mean.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah. Yeah, Oregard with the bracket run of his life, in my opinion. Finding himself in grand finals on winner's side.
yeah,
Very enviable position to be.
doing fantastic right now, and we have our losers finals set here. And again, this is basically a fight to see who could get the run back versus Oregard. These are players that Oregard personally sent to losers himself, right? So this will be, oh my goodness.
Yeah, that he did. That
One
he
moment
did.
here. Oh my goodness. Before we get to that, I'm so wrong.
Oh!
I'm so incorrect. We have our losers semis. I'm thinking it's losers finals already. I'd be forgetting how we do things around here. I apologize. That's fully on me. I wouldn't be shocked if either player here got to sit in the losers finals seat against Dawn. All right now.
Gotcha. I also want to shout out real quick a couple of people who have shelled out money from their very own wallets for our match arena. Richter with 10, Sensei Cream Puff and Massive Ego each with 5. Thank you so much for the contributions to the match arena. Absolutely getting your money's worth, y'all are tonight with the performances we have been seeing. Appreciate it so much.
That's been pretty wonderful. 2 through 6B ends up connecting here. First round so far in favor of Ryukasin, but a quick mash from Icecool is going to try to change the tempo right now. Slightly delayed 6C, maybe looking for either a 2D or just trying to like put out a bit of force right here. A couple of buttons whiffing, and
Yeah.
Ryukasin playing I wouldn't quite call it keep away, but kind of trying to dance around Icecool.
Oh, no.
Bait some whiffs here.
Yeah, and Icecool, I think in a sense, can sit pretty knowing he has DP in the back, meter in the back, but I think was a little bit too willing to just let Ryukasim swing and wasn't ready for the options that were presented. And Ryukasim gonna grab that round right out of his hands.
Ooh, I really like the patience from Icecool there. Notice how he just kind of like, he went for initially a dash, backed up, saw the whiff J2A, and was like, oh, okay, cool. Quick counter hit here, which is now off of the throw here is going to in total result in over 50% against Ryukasin.
Yeah,
Another empty throw. This is real good.
That was-
Again, because Ryukasin
Air
doesn't
throw-
like to throw OS, like showing a couple of the delays here and like trying to establish that like, hey, you're gonna have to make that guess at some point is really good, and that's a belligerent DP.
Yeah. Ice did air throw with into empty throw, by the way. That was so rude. Like, ew. Who does that?
That's pretty goofy. I can't lie.
Yeah.
I can't lie.
You
It's
like,
pretty
you
goofy.
like barely miss it because you don't hear the air throw sound. Ryuga-san catching onto the empty options this time, though, gonna find a back throw of his own. And the overdrive.
Oh my goodness.
Interesting punish option from Ice. Gonna try and put something together. Goes for the God Press again. I don't understand. I don't understand why you would do that.
I think he would like it. I won't lie to you.
That's
he
fair.
either likes it or he thinks
Like,
it's
maybe
an
in that. That's true, and I guess if it hits, you do get the corner as well. But I think just taking the unlocks is just kind
like,
of
I'll put
better.
it this way. Whenever I see God Press on the screen, this is not a matter of optimality or, like, not a matter of optimality. It's usually, like, I feel like this is going to hit, and this is, like, a weird option to slot here. I don't even know what in God's name that was. That was pretty wild.
Yeah, that was TK Tsubaki getting smoked by the overhead.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely an interaction of all time.
Yeah, I think that is fair to say.
Couldn't even match Reno code if you were a fan of it.
We've got a couple more coming in here. Let's see, well, a couple more games coming in here, obviously. Quick JB, not able to convert off the counter at JB, but I do note and appreciate the attempt there.
Yeah, and I like the idea that Ice had to walk up after blocking the 6B and go for the throw, because it's only -4, I believe. It's, like, really safe on block, so walking up and going for the throw, very, like, high-level thinking, trying to take advantage of the patience, but that 6B gonna counter hit and give Ryuka-san a full combo.
Mm-hmm. Looking for an air
now
throw
Ryuka-san-
here. Maybe, like, Icecool's looking for some JD usage or some more aggressive options. But, again, Ryuka-san's kind of been, like, more willing to dance around in the air for certain periods of time. And I think Icecool can take advantage of that in maybe a different
Air
way,
throw.
whether that... Whoa!
That was... Nah, that was clean.
Why did
That was
he-
nice.
I don't know why he went for the sword wave there. Maybe he was looking for, like, a
I think he was-
specific 6A
yeah.
or something from Icecool. That's my assumption.
Or
Since
a
it does
sword.
have
It could have been a
projectiles.
sword.
Yeah, might have been either of those. I could only suppose those are like the potential options to look for.
Yeah. Only one person knows what's going on in Ryuka-san's head. And I'll leave that there. Oh, nice JD.
Yeah, he's
Catching
been,
out the
especially when
rejump
he has
attempt
three
from Ice.
Magatama, he's been very willing to go for JD into Tsubaki, and I don't know if this is maybe just a lack of optimization or what, but the damage from it really hasn't been there the majority of the time. So, like, while it's cool, I feel like JD into Agito would be cheaper and gets you the knockdown, and your next hit has, like, at least a few more potential Magatama.
That's a good observation. I don't think I would have caught that.
Yeah, it's just an interesting thing that's been coming up.
Overdrive!
Alright, this isn't going to result in
He's
a
not
kill.
dead, I don't think.
No, he's
Yeah,
not dead.
not
This
dead,
is,
but
like,
this
next
sucks.
series. He's looking for a reset option right there, and losing that guaranteed knockdown into a more guaranteed scenario is a bit tougher. Now he has to guess on a potential burst here. Could maybe go. Oh, they're still super available here now. Oh, Icecool, you just believe. Oh, he just believes. Sadly, he gets swatted, but he genuinely
Yeah,
was like, I'm not dying.
I mean, if you're not gonna die, there's an argument to be had. Actually, I think it's very interesting, because sometimes, even against, like, against a character like Hakumen, sometimes I'll burst and leave myself with, like, 30%, so I have health to play neutral with, and I don't get tagged by a random 4C and just collapse and die. But there's definitely an argument to be made, like you said, for if you're not gonna die, why would you burst?
Yeah, it's a little weird. It's genuinely like it's hard to make a specific call there. I won't lie. Oops,
Yeah.
And again, these guys are
It's just one of those
1-1.
judgments.
Like, this is even Stevens right now at this point. So next
Yeah,
game
don't forget we're
determines
back in
who
first
gets
to
the
two
final.
land as well. Yeah, back in first to two land. We don't have the comfort level of first to three anymore because this is losers semis. So whoever loses this game is going home.
Well, I guess they're
Damn,
gonna
that was rude.
recline in their
Oh, that was ruder.
just going for the 2B. Oh my goodness.
I want to know what you think about that overdrive, actually.
Dog, this is going by too fast. We're gonna have to, let's review the tapes in like 2 weeks. We'll circle back on this one. I'm not gonna lie.
That is fair. That's fair. Oh my gosh!
The counter,
Throw
the
working
throw,
out.
there's a lot. You see what I mean? There's a lot.
Yeah. I'm surprised Ryuga-san went for the counter there, seeing that Ice went for the throw last time. Maybe expected Ice to cycle a layer, go for a strike instead, try and assert his turn.
Potentially.
Did the same thing again.
Hard to tell, genuinely.
Yeah, maybe he just kind of chucked it.
Either way, things are looking pretty decent from Ryuga-san. The only thing that it really has to deal with is like some of the meter in the burst stage that Icecool has available. But with this active flow, Ryuga-san should be able to get his burst / OD up pretty soon. Like at least by the end of
was
the
that a
round here.
frame kill?
Oh
my gosh, yeah.
Don't remember off the top of my head. Oh my god. Not enough meter to RC it. A DPRC coming
at
out
the
here
very
from
last
Icecool
second.
instead.
So brave.
Oh god, this is tough. This is very, very
Looking for the
tough.
counter. There's the overdrive from Ryuga-san.
I don't know if he did something or if he like started like a 5C and car canceled into like blocking or what. That was no, it'd be car cancel barrier. Actually. Oh, this isn't death.
Icecool making a statement.
Next hit
Yeah,
will
looking
kill
to
though.
threaten to kill off the next hit.
Oh my god.
But the roll somehow working out for Ryuga-san. Counter assault. So little time left on the
gonna
clock
RC
now.
and throw
Grand Viper
again.
RC.
He likes doing that RC to throw a lot. 10 seconds left on the clock. It's going to be a difficult run. Both characters with a lot of health.
This is so scary.
Blocking through the entire scenario. Fuzzy jump. He's going to get a timeout. Potentially the throw tech.
Oh
and
my
Ryuga-san through timeout ends up beating Icecool. 2-1. That was crazy. And normally, you know, Ryuga-san, known for being willing to roll the dice, to gamble, and make some of the risky choices, opted to truly just block and just time that out. That is not a choice that you will often see Ryuga-san go for. But in this instance, it was really excellent. And that shows a lot of patience. In those dicey scenarios, all it takes is just letting go of the stick briefly, and suddenly you get hit and you lose the life lead and you have to play out another round. Really excellent
100%.
stuff from
And
Ryuga-san at the end there. That was awesome.
Absolutely. Like, and I think there's something to be said for how, like, I'm not going to speak for you, but I didn't really notice it until it was happening. Like, by the time there was 18 seconds on the clock, I was like, oh crap, he might actually do it. This is what he's been going for this whole time. And then Icecool just couldn't make up the difference. And I hate to bring up a Kobe mantra on commentary.
Oh
but
god, no! I'm gonna interrupt you. I'm not.
As a man, no. Let me cook.
No quarter.
As
I'm
a
not
man
giving that
once
man no
said,
credit.
as a man once said,
Oh my god.
blocking is not losing.
Oh, okay. That is funny for him to say that. He mashes. Does he still mash a bunch? I haven't watched him play in a bit. But that is correct. Blocking is
I will leave that as an exercise to the viewers at home. Thank you so much for spending your Monday night with us right here at Boston Blue Beat. We're gonna table that for later and head into our losers finals match with Don and Ryuga-san getting the run back.
Yeah, this is looking pretty good so far here. Or rather, what am I saying? It's even. It's at the round start. I got no idea what's going to happen here. It's losers finals. There's going to be some level of insanity that comes up here. I'm not going to lie to you, big dog.
Yeah, 100%. And like, Hakumen has overdrive. It's an even game. Doesn't matter what the life says. I hate what happened there.
You genuinely
fuzzy
scared
jumped
me
the
with that
unblockable. I'm sorry. Ryuga-san fuzzy jumped the unblockable, got tagged by the doll. Don faked it, went for the air throw, and was late. Purpled Ryuga-san and he didn't tag.
Oh my lord. Oh my. What is happening? Okay. We'll talk about this in a moment here. This
You
is
spoke
dicey.
this into existence.
Please super
This is
jump
your
and just
fault.
leave. Okay. That Agito was still a lot, but it was some. Oh.
No way.
I am not too sure.
Okay,
what to
okay.
say
In fairness,
all of that.
In
That
fairness,
was
we have a
messy.
first to 3. There's time for this to level out. They just have to let off some steam. Don's been waiting for a little bit to play too, and you know he's champing at the bit to get this run back with aura guard. Holy crap, what an air threat.
He wanted that so badly.
There's a lot that's happening, I can't lie to you. Dawn opting to
No,
try to
yeah,
look for an
you're right.
opportunity to desummon Ignis, but can't find the counter hit quite with the 3C there. Sends out Ignis at full screen, but the J2C ends up connecting here. This has been pretty scrappy between the two in this round so far. Neither of them necessarily landing like a massive hit, but both of them kind of like scrapping for little like 2.5k, like 3k exchanges.
Yeah, Don jumped over, by the way, on his Oki and cornered himself and was forced to spend the meter to escape the situation. Finding another air throw, though, going for what I believe was going to be a burst safe combo, but Ryuka-sim denying it.
Yeah, it was either going to be burst safe or Dawn.
Holy crap, what a 6B.
We're chilling. We're chilling. We're chilling. Oh,
No, we're not chilling. We're dead.
That 214A in OD, that does file some taxes. I can't lie. It does put it some.
No, I don't think Buzzsaw has filed a single tax in his life.
Nah, it's counter
The
assault.
dictionary
Counter assault
for the word
2D.
fraudulent.
Counter assault 2D is the true tax fraud.
The wheel of fate is turning.
That is,
Counter-
that
Rebel 1.
that's not tax fraud. That's that's
Robbery.
murking the IRS agent that comes through your door.
Yeah, I guess so. Hold on a second. Early knockdown here for Dawn. This is looking pretty good. Not too much Ignis gauge spent as well.
Oh no!
He's probably not gonna need to spend OD, honestly. Like maybe after the next knockdown, depending on the mix here. But otherwise, he's chilling. To
faked
be
the
quite
unblockable.
honest. Ooh,
Yeah,
dropping
Don
the
faked
combos,
the unblockable
unfortunate.
once again. Probably gonna spend overdrive here to secure the kill. No, choosing not to.
Yeah, he doesn't have
Try and
a
close it
like a
out.
big OD cancel opportunity off of that hit necessarily. Oh my god!
Oh
Yo,
my gosh, he got another air throw.
He is so willing to say, "Hey, Ryuka-san, I know you want to jump and do a JD, or I know you want to fuzzy jump out. And I know how most of the time, right? Like I could do a delay 2B, I could delay a 5B. You know, I can catch you fuzzy jumping, but." What if I just brought out the right hand of God and I just like threw you back to the ground? What if I just did that? How would you feel? And he's done that multiple times, and it is genuinely shocking how successful it's been.
Yeah, I think we're gonna. Oh, there.
See what I mean, dog? See what I mean? Well, that situation's different, but is there?
No, I think I need to see one more air throw just to like really get the point you're trying to make. You know,
We're gonna see.
I think
like,
one more air throw would really seal it for me.
We're gonna see like hold on, quick astral or oh okay, just go for volcano, same difference. I'm gonna say right now we're probably gonna see 2 to 3 more air throws for this set. I'm gonna say it right there. I'm gonna
Want to make it over under? Want to make it over under?
Huh? I will say under 3, easily.
Under 3?
You want it more? You want it to be
I
more
don't know.
interesting? I'll say under.
I
2.
think
No, that's.
I don't know. We've got Ryuka-sim now on the Tower Kaka. I think in a sense all bets are off.
Yeah. That's honestly the most succinct way to put it. I'm not gonna lie.
Rebel 1.
This is definitely an all bets are off kind of moment.
Yeah, this is
No,
like switching characters like this. When you
Sorry,
switch
say that one
characters
more
like this, you get the sense. Nice crawl under the TK Valtus, by the way. That was clean. But you put yourself in the situation where you can sort of disrespect the Yomi, the navigation of the layers that has built up over this set and the previous set. Don't forget, Ryuka-sim, I believe... No. Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna TD again.
No,
Okay, so
Ryuka
that is
Sim's
intentional.
in winner's
That's a
side.
lot
Okay.
of resources just to B+. That's a lot of resources to B+. I'm not gonna lie. That's doing a lot to click 2D. I don't necessarily agree with it on certain other principles, but it's been working out for him thus far. He's in the finals for a reason.
Yeah, and I think there's something to be said for Don's very aggressive resource expenditure. He plays in this style that I actually really like, where all of his resources are in service to the wife leader, because like Overdrive is not his game plan, Heat is not his game plan, Ignis is his game plan. And
He's looking pretty
that's
good.
gonna be a problem.
We'll see how it
That
ends up
is
panning out.
That is a lot of implications on the matchup, actually. Tao can just crawl under Valtus there. So a lot of Reli's like best Oki setups, Tao can just ignore by holding down forward.
In a sense, but we have not gotten to the beauty of Reli's 3C being an immensely powerful counter hit and slightly strength tool.
That is very true. And you can't crawl duo bios. It is the great equalizer. Nice instant overhead.
Oh, actually, now that I think about it, with active flow and the extra damage dealt, as well as passive meter gain, Dawn literally just built up all the meter back for another dual BIOS to potentially take it. That is genuinely pretty nuts. Almost as nuts as Rikusen blocking out the entire dual BIOS sequence there. Ignis Gauge
I mean, you could have stopped at the word blocking, but you're right. Very, very difficult to block out that entire super. And Ryukusen gonna steal it.
Should be able to get the round here with the air 236, 236.
Yep, denying the burst out from Dawn. Does not even want to deal with the neutral in Relius, with the neutral against Relius, with both of them with a pixel, because if you get tagged, you just die, and Dawn steals the game.
Pretty much, yeah.
And this is also tournament life for Ryukusen.
Yeah, it's loser's final. It is do or die to see if you can get into that top two and get a chance at fighting against Beauregard, who again has been having a pretty spectacular run. This is scramble.
You know, the more this game goes on, there's the air throw.
That was one.
I was just about to say, the more this game goes on, the more I like the pick from Ryukusen. And now the 6A whiff though.
There's the low TB.
Okay, it doesn't matter. This is duo BIOS.
Yep, that is.
Yeah, it just all comes down to this, unfortunately. Oh no! That is not
going to
let Ryukusen escape, and that's burst safe. But Ignis dies. Ignis died, and Ryukusen has a chance. Okay.
What a 5B. So actually, you ever boot up?
That's like a Ragnar 5B attached to a puppet character.
You ever boot up Relius's 5B in training mode to look at it? You know
it's a Ragnar 5B.
Yeah, it's mad good. That ball is crazy.
On a puppet character, by the way.
Yeah.
Because yes.
It's pretty.
But yeah, Dawn gonna make it. Dawn gonna make it 3-0 in losers finals, eliminating Ryukusen in the bronze medal position.
It's pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, good stuff right there from both players, and Dawn getting the chance to fight against Beauregard once more. Who again had won pretty convincingly, 3-0. Very, very good set from Beauregard right there, playing really, really well here.
Yeah, 100%. I'm curious maybe to see if we see a character switch come out from Dawn, because he does play multiple characters. Relius is obviously his main squeeze, but I've seen him pull out Mew and S and Ragna all in the same bracket. It was pretty interesting. I think he has a couple snakes as well, but don't quote me on that.
I would be surprised if he brought out one of his subs, to be honest. I think I would assume
I wouldn't
that
be surprised
Dawn
maybe to see the Mew. I don't think I'd be surprised to see the Mew.
Perhaps, but the Mew versus Mew 12 versus Mew 13 can be a little weird, so to speak.
Yeah.
So
it's like when the advanced advanced calculus sort of just loops back around to being scribbling on a piece of paper with a red crayon in an ice pick grip. That's what that matchup's like. Because it's sort of like Mew into Rachel in that way, where Mew just has the tool in the game to stop Mew or Rachel from setting up at full screen. And it's really interesting how taking such a simple tool like this projectile, and then you make it come from behind, like News 4D does, and how that changes the course of so many matchups. I think that's really fascinating. How one simple change can just flip matchups on their heads.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things that you can see, with the various matchups of this game across the cast. It is very, very crazy. And I know we're coming towards the end of this bracket here today. We're going in our last set. If you want to see some more of those crazy matchups come up real soon, you can get the chance to see them this Saturday. Our monthly is on November 16th. This Saturday again at Balance Patch. So, you guys will get the chance to see a bunch of the local players get at it. Again, the usual slew of games: BlazBlue, Undernight, Guilty Gear, both Strive and Plus R, and Rev 2, as well as Sailor Moon
And
S.
Sailor Moon S, for those of you who are into that.
There's a lot of people into Sailor Moon at the locals. I'm not gonna lie. The
That is
locals,
true.
like
Go-
when we have like extra games, like it could be literally anything. We had Blazing Strike a few weeks ago, much to Omni's chagrin. That one was pretty funny.
But yeah, go to your locals and go to your locals. End sentence. Go to your sentence. Go to your local. Help. I'm great at grammar. Okay, this is why I play Kagura. Go to your locals. Period.
I said nothing about Kagura.
Nothing further needs to be.
That was wild. But yeah, pull up. It'll be a good time.
But yeah, every time we show y'all's events, I think back to when I went to Beach episode and how much freaking fun I had at that event. That was fire. Y'all put on great events out there, and if I could go to every single monthly, I would. But Nebraska to Boston is unfortunately a little
Jesus
bit
Christ!
pricey.
Don't do that. Don't pay that much money every month. Oh my God.
No, if I could afford it, I would. But that if has a lot of zeros on the end of it, unfortunately.
Yeah, look, if you could afford that, then
Not on the right side of the decimal point, unfortunately.
yeah.
That
Yeah,
was a little bit of a reach, but we'll be alright.
yeah, it's been pretty wild. Tomato, is there any particular set that you've like enjoyed like the most so far? By the way, it's pop quiz. You got about like 30 seconds because Don's back.
No, you're good. Oh, this is a pop. Oh, you said pop quiz word. Now you're making me think. This is not
15
what I
seconds.
do. I'm a Kagura player. Why would you do this to me?
now.
Okay.
15 seconds.
Lucy and Walbats. Ara and Icecool. Ara and Dawn. I think those are my highlights.
Okay. I think that's a fair slip.
Yeah.
Oh God, so we are seeing the new 13 and the new 12, and I'm not gonna lie to
Wow.
you, I'm gonna be saying the numbers a lot because otherwise it's gonna be a tongue twister.
Yeah.
But
It
this is
is.
interesting. I genuinely
I have a
curious.
really interesting anecdote about Greek letters that has to do with Arklancer's name change, but that is neither hither nor thither. We've got two white women on the screen duking it out in our grand finals. Ara on the winner's side, Dawn on the loser's side. Who will be going home, adding the bigger number to their wallet?
I ain't got a clue. I am really curious to see how this will play out and if either player will like have a bunch of character crises mid-set. Thus far, it's looking relatively even here. Resources at a slight disparity, but nothing super crazy. The Legacy Edge trying to like maintain some of that neutral control there. That's a big 6C. I could only assume that's meant to be maybe like a Microdat 5C here. Beauregard finding a hit, but might not build
This is
enough
gonna kill, I
meter.
believe. No, didn't build the bar. That sucks.
It's
Unfortunately, got blue barred, so to speak. 49 meter, not enough for the super to close it out. But clipping the legs with the sickle from behind. No kneecaps for you.
Truly, truly, truly. Right now, Beauregard
Blocking the
getting
jump
hit.
in, not what you want to see.
And Oregon's been mostly successful with, like, I would say, like, some of the mix-up attempts. God, please.
He's also exploding. Oh, you
I-
took 5k. You took 5k.
When you're a 10k health character, you are both low health characters, things get very, very quirky very, very quickly.
And you're dead.
Alright, Beauregard not able to take so
Yeah.
many rounds in a row that we saw last time in Winners Finals. So this is already working out a little bit better for Dawn, but, you know, we gotta wait and see how things work out in the long run here.
Yeah, Ara definitely displaying mastery of the Relius matchup may not have that kind of experience against Mu12. Very, very, very uncommon character. As uncommon as Relius. There's just not bracket demons like Don entering literally every single net play bracket for years and years and years and years and years and giving everyone the blueprint on the matchup.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Like, Don is the reason that I can fight Relius as well as I can. And I think a lot of people who run into him regularly in bracket would say the same thing. But you don't really see that kind of thing happen with Mu12. Easy conversion on the burst, though. All are equal in the drive staircase in U13. Game 1 going to Aura.
It's looking pretty good for Aerodat right now. And it looks like Don wants to continue on the Mu12 and see some amount of success on it. So he wants to keep that up and, you know, try to make something of it right here.
Yeah, and if you're Aura, I think you take a lot of comfort in winning that first game after the character switch, because you can rest easy knowing, okay, I'm not about to get gimmicked out by a matchup I don't know. I can buckle down, keep it clean, keep it tight, and I can still lock it up even if my knowledge isn't necessarily there like it is on the Relius.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, you exploded!
Ooh, but this is not looking as...
Okay, didn't explode per se off the 3C starter. 3C not, I don't think, a very good starter for you. Very lucky burst.
3C OD cancel can be pretty good, but like without like some of the resources backing it up, it's not gonna really kick in for like a ton of damage necessarily.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know this character like Ara knows this character. There was a reason he did the punish he did, I just couldn't tell you what it is.
It's all good.
But this is gonna be some
pretty
punishment.
good for
Next
Dawn
hit gonna
here.
kill him.
Oh, doesn't end up opting for SOG.
Oh no!
That's a tragic purple throw there. And that's... Oh, that looked like a blue, but it wasn't. Okay,
I agree. I agree.
For a second.
I thought that super... I was gonna slap Ara through the screen if that super blue beat did. That's like a... Okay, I took my hands off the controller. No, you don't do that! You don't take your hands off the controller until you watch the announcer tell you that your character is dead.
I saw the blue beat symbol only on the 2, and I was like, oh, okay. You're chilling. Alright, right now, both players trying to find like an opportunity to score a big hit here. That counter hit
that's
is going to be pretty solid here for Aerodat. Needs just about 1 or 2 more hits in order to get it done, depending on some of these starters here. Again, there's a lot of skirmishes between both players, but right now, it's a little difficult for either player to get some of the like, more meatier hits, so to speak. A lot of the times, like the bigger hits end up coming from Dawn that either transition or are already in the corner that lead into some of Mu12's powerful OTU. But right now,
yeah, absolutely. Because like, yeah, because like Ara on the new is very content to just nickel and dime Don as he tries and fails to approach. Getting clipped by 6T standing feels bad, because like you said, Mew has to do this two-step, so to speak, to get the powerful offense going, to get the powerful hits going, and just hasn't been able to get anything really started outside of a handful of rounds here and there.
Yeah, and some of the usages of the gravity well into the act parser that you're seeing there, the command dash back, has worked out very well for Aerodat in his attempts at creating some space and forcing some of like some more dangerous and riskier approaches from Don, who has had a little bit of a hard time dealing with it so far, especially because...
Oh my gosh, you are so lucky, Ara! Also, this is death. This is death! That is... No, dead. Easy dead.
Okay.
Why did you not burst? Okay.
I probably thought it might have been a burst bait coming in.
I think he put the controller down.
I don't think he
put
did.
No.
Are you firm on this?
I mean, it's 3C.
I think it's difficult because sometimes you're genuinely just guessing, like, okay, are they going to go for a burst bait or are they just going to super and kill?
I suppose that's fair.
It could be hard to make that call necessarily.
Yeah, in any event, the Mu12 not working out for Don, and he is going to lock in on his main for the rest of this set. Not going to get the opportunity to change his mind. Making this decision is never fun.
It's a difficult one to make. And, you know, it's while the Mu12 didn't end up scoring, you know, any games, I will say that, like, it definitely was showing some merit in this set thus far. just with the ability to either scrap in neutral, some of the Oki, and like some of the potential lockdown, but it felt like Orgard made a lot of good adjustments to seal that away. And now, you know, at least for this set, you know, we might see a reset, of course. Dawn is, you know, sticking it out with the Relius here.
Yeah, that he is, and there's no surprise there. But Ara absolutely in, like, you can't be in a more comfortable position. You're 2 games up on winner's side, 1 more game win on your side of this bracket is over. And it's just the same thing as before.
Ooh, that burst coming out a little bit earlier than in the last set here. Orgard trying to play it up a little more aggressively, maybe expecting Ignis to come out in a different way, and ends up just getting met with a counter hit here. But right now, Aura willing to put
the ability of Ara. The ability that Ara has to just place the swords, not even necessarily converting, but just place the swords, nullify the game plan, is absolutely immaculate. He's been 3 steps ahead since really the start of the first set, and nothing has changed as he goes up on tournament point. Without the burst, yes, and that, I think, is going to become important, but if we see Ara escape, Don might not get another chance. You absolutely have to kill now.
6A ends up connecting
And the
into the
6A.
OD. That's looking pretty good here. Not gonna, honestly, just barely not enough damage for the dual bios, but ends up going low at first right there off of the mix-up here.
No worries about the damage or the meter gain at all, though, because you get all of the white meter back. And finally, the counter assault comes out from Ara just in time.
Now, this is going to be a difficult
Not a lot of
position
health
to
on the
work
side of...
with. You know, as
I
you were
think
saying,
Ara
right,
was actually baiting that counter assault.
potentially here.
Rotech from Dawn.
This is close.
And Ara escapes again. Active flow coming back on Dawn's side, though. He's going to get a burst potentially in an overdrive, whatever he might need to try and secure this round. Nice lead lay through the 5D. That's really committal.
Or once again, looking for a couple of
biding
snipes.
his time.
Good JC, my gosh.
Air dash out. And Dawn has no meter now. Quick full screen. This is probably going to be Legacy Edge. No counter assault.
Alright, this is pretty decent.
Don't get hit.
AD's available.
Oh my gosh.
The J6D ends up getting it done. It's a pretty great hit. You know, the J6D ends up dealing around like nearly 800.
It's like 900 damage. It's a beefy hit, yeah.
Yeah, it's quite big. So whenever you need like the little exchanges, like it can be quite a lot. Dasha 2D
Nice
ends up
2D.
succeeding for Orgard here. Again, they've deprived themselves of that burst gauge so early in the round. They're very unlikely.
Oh no! There it
That's
is, that
the other
214B
side
at the very start of the set. You were talking about that 214B, and you were talking about this as well. Ara is so hasty with the counter assault, and Dawn finds the bait, finds the game, and gods do, in fact, bleed.
So one thing that's really important to note that I kind of neglected to mention is that while Relius pressure is really safe and blah blah blah, and it's a whole, I don't know, talk too long about it. But basically, Relius's ability to do stuff like 2A60 is really good because you get to check for a counter assault, and if they don't counter assault, you confirm the 6D on block, and then you continue on your pressure. So the ability to bait out a CA and still clip a potential fuzzy jump is really, really powerful from Relius. And you see, you know, Dawn like leaning into it a little bit with like some of the 2As. You know, it's another aspect of why
absolutely.
like the Ignis gauge is so important to like understand because it changes so many interactions. What a
Damn, what a conversion. Oh no, the reset.
A little awkward.
I honestly... Nah, I'll talk about that later.
all good.
Oh, do a BIOS on block. You gotta hold it.
Yeah,
Dawn
quick
finding
low
the
ends up
empty low.
connecting. So one thing that's been a little difficult, and that's been a bit of an adjustment from the last set.
Rebel 2.
In winners finals, a lot of times Dawn would whip a 2-1-4A, and Orgard would be able to reposition very successfully or land a hit as a result of it. but we're now kind of seeing the other side of that, wherein like when those like post whiff 2-1-4 A's don't work, kind of like scenarios like this, Dawn is kind of making a few different adjustments, whether that's sending Ignis out once more or continuing to back off in order to commit to locking down Aerodat a little bit more. So I think an adjustment that Aerodat would be able to make that could be very good is, just doing a quick 5-8 to tag Ignis and then jump canceling and moving according to like the scenario. I think it's really
Yeah, you're
important to make sure
absolutely
that
right.
you gotta make sure that you're still tagging Ignis like multiple times, because one, it ruins the regeneration rate for Aurelius, but two, most importantly, Ignis is off the damn field for a little bit, and that is very, very big.
Yeah, for characters that aren't new 13, your ability to box with Ignis makes and breaks how well you perform in the matchup. What a 6B! Looking for a counter assault, got so lucky, but gonna get pushed into the dual BIOS. No!
I don't know if that was Ignis extending
That's flat
the
armor.
active frames of the CA with a weird reverse like hit or something, but that was like genuinely absurd.
I have no idea. It's plot armor. It's plot armor. That's what I'm gonna call it. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I don't know if it's necessarily
That is
plot armor
not
right
plot
now.
armor.
But yeah, again, right, like the
Yeah.
post 2-4 A scenarios, because those are so different, so many of the neutral interactions are thus changed, and Dawn is able to score so many hits early on. Where, as opposed to Winners Finals, where he was not able to get those hits, Aerodat managed to kind of squeak away, and you saw way less bursts from Aerodat come in early in the sets. Like, look at this lockdown now. Only one like major confirmed for Dawn, and Aerodat is already at below 30%.
Oh my gosh. Ara couldn't find a hit, and now all of the life meters back. Finally, though, the 4D. Oh my gosh!
Oh,
That was disrespectful.
that drop actually blows.
That's
That, like-
that's like 4 different levels of suck.
Oh,
No way.
and again, right, like
It's 2-2.
yeah, and look at how often so many interactions stem from Dawn getting to with 2-1-4 and then Aerodat just doesn't hit Ignis. Like, the fact that he's
100%.
not hitting Ignis means that Ignis gets to stay in that area and re-threaten new 13. If Aerodat literally just hits Ignis every now and then, these interactions are all much different. You'll see Dawn start to rely on more overdrives, like right here, or more RCs in order to regen Ignis, but it won't be as advantageous. Like, it's such a small, minute interaction, but it is greatly changing so much of the neutral. Once again, another whiff 2-1-4, which results in this scenario here. The tech on the air throw, nice
Snowball's
recognition.
chance.
Ignis is dead, but at this point,
Snowball.
Dawn doesn't need
Yeah.
to do much at all with this life rate. Like, he could literally just...
I don't know. I think Ara's gonna get this hit. Ara's gonna get this hit. I have confidence.
Damn. You saw into the future. You just...
Everybody sleeps on you set play. This character is not easy to block.
I'm not saying...
Like-
it's less that and more that, like, you just said it so confidently, and I was like, I have no idea what comes next, and I just watched it manifest, so... can't front.
I
There's the
played like 800 bajillion with the Ara. It's crazy. But yeah, Dawn on reset point, like you said, just been able to accumulate so much momentum. Clipped by the Vultures from behind the back is Ara, and that has got to sting.
Yeah. And again, you see how like the 2-1-4 like the strategy is much different. Dawn immediately opting for a lot of like J2Ds to try to like catch Aerodat in the maneuvers that follow immediately afterwards. But again, hit the doll, man. You're gonna be all right. Except when he uses the armored doll move. That one was kind of crazy. But
Yeah.
that's just one of those counter adjustments here. But 2D still costs a lot. If you're able to use a jump cancel or normal, you're chilling.
Oh, nice weight on the counter assault. Ara knew that Dawn was looking for it super hard. Did it at the different timing this time.
Yeah, this is gonna be a reset.
But again,
I'm feeling it.
and
This
like you
feels
said,
a
Ara's just letting these buzzsaws happen.
Okay. He's getting a
have to
couple
make
of
some-
hits here, sending Dawn out to full screen. But again, strategy around Dawn at full screen is a lot different now. clipping Ignis, and look at that, the lack of control. Aerodat managing to squeak away. They don't have as much time to work with, but it's still powerful. And really good adjustments from both players here now. Dawn is expecting Aerodat to start hitting Ignis and thus is using the 2-2C. But because Aerodat is aware of that, the dash throw ends up looping back into being potent. This is a potential guess for, like, this is a guess for game scenario here. That was a wild amount
fake
of
cross-up.
Yeah, the same side makes this crazy, and Dawn on the Relius
That's the reset, dude. Oh my gosh.
wins the first set of Grand
back
Finals.
Coming back from the brink, Dawn resets the bracket, taking 3 straight on the Relius, completely inverting the story.
Yeah, and again,
And I just want to say, you have been talking about the same interaction for about 6 or 7 minutes now.
yeah,
And all I can think about is I'm just sitting here nodding like, yeah, you're right. This is the story.
it is
just
the
now Ara has
breakpoint
started-
yeah, it's the breakpoint of so many different interactions. Like, it is often starting from this, and then like the flow chart is changing so differently, like off of like effectively one special. And not many matchups really work like that. No matchup works like that, honestly, unless it's like crazy,
Yeah.
like messed up. But in this specific scenario, like, that is what is dictating a lot of differences here. And if Aerodat is able to reduce its efficacy, we'll start seeing a lot different, like, neutral engagements, or a lot of different ways of starting in neutral right now. Look at how Aerodat thus is able to maneuver around Ignis, that, you know, now Dawn is forced to desum, and he's trying to approach at a mid-range, right? Showing a few different options for engaging, and now it is a different manner of dealing with things, right?
Yeah.
It's all in...
100%. It's a completely different matchup now. It really is. Like, you can kind of even just feel it in the air, just watching it. It looks so different from the winner's final set, the way that Dawn is being so much more belligerent with Ignis, able to get the one, just tag Aura once, unblock, and roll it into an exchange that gets him the round.
Yeah, we're already seeing dual bios come out here, and again, when
catching
it's
the
dual
roll on the
bios off a
5C
hard
arch.
knockdown, you cannot roll. I'm gonna tell you this right now, you cannot roll. Aurelius has
No, you
too many
cannot.
easy ways to cover that roll and convert it into either A, taking the burst, or B, he's going to convert into sizable damage, and you are going to get hit with another time.
Look at the time, though. Look at the time! Somehow Ara gets away with one there. Stealing the round. Yeah, stealing the round.
Single-digit round ender.
Very much could have been much worse trying to roll out of that duo bios. Like you said, not what you want to do in that situation. Because getting hit by 5C in the duo bios sucks. Like, that's not a small amount of damage.
It is, you are effectively eating, like, about the same amount of damage that you would have eaten, like, getting opened up by dual bios. It's just...
Oh, the conversion on the buzzsaw.
Yeah,
And the
things are some of
MP2A.
There's the Wreck Venum. Things are looking pretty great. We're likely going to see... Oh, no. Okay. Ends up letting...
No, wait, you're dead. You're dead. You're dead.
Not quite.
Don spends overdrive here. No, he does not. Choosing
The
to
big
save
problem
it.
is
If Don
that
spent
he,
overdrive, he
Yeah, he had a
overdrive, he
difficult time
very much
finding
could
an
have killed.
OD cancel point here. Now, this full screen dual
That is
BIOS
fair.
is not it. I don't know if this Legacy Edge is necessarily going to get too much done either here. You do end up slowing Ignis down on the process, but I'm going to let y'all in on a little secret. Full screen dual BIOS just, like, genuinely kind of sucks. You should just super jump over it and be prepared to throw that. Like, it's not that great. You can watch Relius willingly put $50 on the table and say, all right, I was gonna cover the tab, but sure, dude, and then you're just chilling. You don't need to spend Legacy Edge and all that stuff on it. But I understand the, you know, the idea of saying, like, okay, let me minimize Ignis, like, in this scenario here right now.
Yeah, 100%. But it does not matter at the end of the day. At least not yet. Ara locking up the game, sealing it out with the overdrive, finding a 4D fatal. And I think we might start to see the pendulum swing the other way now, Toledo.
Mate, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know. This has been this is difficult to call right now. I cannot lie. These guys have been pretty back and forth so far. Jesus. I'm so surprised that 2-4 ended up clipping Aura.
And
this is going to be a quick
stuff
regen
as well.
Yeah, with OD on the table as well, if all else fails. This is pretty great for Don here. Big mash on the empty jump low. My word.
Yeah, very ballsy mash. Aura recognized, by the way, that he had the 2A, and because of the slightly extended starter, wouldn't have been able to get the side switch, so tried to run under instead. But Don just chased him down and strolled around. I believe it's possible to do the combo there off of 2A, but it is a lot more difficult. Oh, that sucks! That sucks so bad.
Getting the air throw there is pretty fantastic for Don here. Now you got to deal with the hard to blockable. Things are looking a bit
My bad,
rough.
I'm desynced. Let me pull up the Discord stream real quick.
All good, dog. Do what you need to do here. Quick hit. That's a hard knockdown into dual bios. It's time to make some guesses. And let me tell you, the deck is not stacking.
No, it is not.
This is going to be another game for Don. And again, we are in this for the long haul, I would say. This is going to be this is a doozy.
Gotcha. I'm going to commit to the Discord stream. Unfortunately, I was desynced on my end of the game.
Oh, do your thing. Don't worry about it.
But
it's all good.
it is the game we play. Big sad. But we're going to make it work. And
quick
Aura
2D.
is going to make this anti-air 2D work. Decent with the damage. We take this third game off.
And again, some of those dash unders that we've been seeing Aura do throughout this entire tournament working out pretty well for him. Clipping Dawn right there. Now, unfortunately, putting themselves in the corner. It's very, very
The
dangerous.
5DD! It's the 5DD, the drive follow-up. It sniped Relius, sneaking past Ignis. And Aura yet to be touched. But the counter is so big with the
Close, but no
No.
cigar. The spin on the counter assault and then the bait on the burst. That is demoralizing. That is very demoralizing. Now it's a hard knockdown into dual bios. No, it's a high-low. Time
Yeah.
to guess, asshole. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
if I wasn't on the desk, I'd be already typing in chat and I'd say the tournament's over.
Oh, it's
And half of me thinks that the tournament, like Don could have very much just ended the tournament off of that burst bait. The mental damage, you cannot understate it.
I think Oregard, as a player, having watched him play many casual and many tournament sets, is not necessarily one to be like thoroughly rattled by that. It's not an easy feeling to go through, but I think the more pressing feeling, right, is that like, okay, I'm in grand finals, we're in set 2 now. This was really successful in winners finals, and now this just feels like all sorts of tough, like, you know, a lot of
and
times
don't
to me,
forget
it's the
that-
more, it's the compounding feelings of it. Nice button usage there from Don
Yeah.
as well, stuffing a lot of new 13's like attempts. And again, with Ignis's
Punch that
positioning,
girl in the face. And don't forget, by the way, Aura was on reset point like 3 times. And then Don reset the bracket with the 3 straight. And now, for the first time in the tournament, Don has the set lead.
yeah. And again, I want to point out that, like, in some of the last interactions here, a lot of it is due to the property of Ignis, where she'll linger for a little bit in place after certain specials. And Don's been, like, using that here and there in order to prompt, like, certain interactions, or at least force a sandwich scenario very quickly against Warguard. Losing the burst there early as new 13 is unfortunate. It does mean that it's possible to come back early in the next round, but that is pretty difficult to deal with. Lots of air stalling. Ignis is gone, but that overdrive is going to cover for her. quite
Doesn't
nicely.
matter. And it's just wall after wall crumbling at the unstoppable force of Dawn. The high-low connecting once again.
Oh God, drop
The
combo
drop, and it
before
just doesn't
deconnecting.
matter. You're still blocking Relius.
Ooh, that was a misinput. That was meant to be. That
That-
was meant to be 6 seed into dual bios. So that was not meant to be Volcano.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. Aura with a chance to play. You got a counter assault. Don't get chipped.
What a deep dash up, by the way. You see that dash up earlier from Dawn? You weren't really seeing those earlier.
It's the confidence. It's the confidence. The morale is just so shattered.
on the part of Ara, and he's watched Don go up on tournament point. This is the position that Ara found himself so many times in the first set of Grand Finals, and now once again without his burst. It's been the story all night to Weedo, and it might be the ending as well.
Oh god, the 60 ending up clipping a potential fuzzy jump. It looks like they're 5D once again into the 4D. Great conversions there from
It's
Don.
all falling apart.
Probably going to go for the 6C. Yeah, goes for the full confirm into the Volcano, and that will be Don rising up from the loser side bracket, clawing back that reset and taking it over Beauregard in the next set 3-1.
An absolutely monumental comeback on the side of Dawn,
Getting 3-0'd in winners finals. Getting put on the back foot time after time in grands. Switched to the Relias and damn near swept.
Yeah.
And like you said,
know,
it
again,
was just the recognition. It was just the recognition of just a couple things in that matchup that Ara wasn't capitalizing on in the right way to make Don cycle his options, to make him think twice. And the more that you let those kinds of things slip by in the back of your head, the more you start to question all of the other decisions you make as well, and the morale just starts to crumble as you drop game after game. And Don, with the endurance to stay calm and composed in the face of adversity, earning himself yet another dub.
Yeah. And again, folks, that was just a matter of, like, pretty clean adaptations right there. Like, that was truly just adjusting to a lot of the stuff that Aura was presenting in those earlier sets here. Like, it was just genuinely good. And Beauregard making some adjustments back, and both players, like, fighting it out for quite a while. So, you know, that's just the way that the cookie crumbles. And I honestly think that was pretty enjoyable to watch here. Glad you guys could come along for this ride. It was pretty wild. And again, thank you guys.
This was a sick bracket. This was actually a really sick bracket.
It was a lot of fun. I don't have too much else to really talk about. The monthly's on Saturday. We'll be talking about it for the next couple of days as the Plus R and the Under Night weeklies come about. Folks, we're gonna get the heck out of here. I think we can raid CH Final right there. He's running some blazblue right now, so go be nice.
Gonna be it.
Don't be weird because we play video games. But yeah, I'd say take it easy.
Go to your locals, drink your water, and play CF. Good night, everybody.